Please welcome to the goal corner from Australia, Jackson Murray.
So into the arena steps another IBA Champions Night debutant, and that is Jackson Murray. Undefeated in the professional ranks, 6 fights, 6 wins, 4 of them coming inside the distance. Man who made his debut in 2021, having converted from the sport of rugby league, looking to continue to make an impression in the nascent stages of his professional career. Over the top rope, in the manner of so many modern-day towering super heavyweight figures, 6'7" or 2.01 meters tall. Super heavyweight bout between boxers of contrasting statures, both of whom pack a mighty punch.
Первым представляю боксера, стоящего слева от меня в черном углу ринга. Ему 27 лет, его рост 195 сантиметров, а вес 110 килограммов и 100 граммов. Его безупречный рекорд насчитывает 14 боев, 14 побед, 13 из них нокаутом. Он действующий чемпион Африки WBA в тяжелом весе и носит прозвище «Железный».
Assalomu alaykum, Uzbek sportining ashaddiy muxlislari. Akalar, jonli efirga xush kelibsizlar. Bugun 28-sentyabr kuni Ozarbayjonning Baku shahrida IBF chempionlar oqshomi bo'lib o'tyapti, akalar. Ahamiyatlisi ushbu musobaqada hamyurtimiz Mirazbek Mirzahalilov va rossiyalik bokschi Vsevolod Shumkov 57 kg vazn toifasida IBA Pro jahon chempionlik kamari uchun o'zaro jang qilishadi, akalar. Hamyurtimizni qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz va bir nechta jangdan so'ng hamyurtimiz ringga ko'tariladi, akalar. Maroqlik jonli efir, akalar, sizlarga.
Австралии среди любителей, не знающий поражений в профессионалах с рекордом 6 боев, 6 побед, 4 из них нокаутом. Он носит прозвище «Белый шоколад». Introducing across the ring in the gold corner, he stands 201 centimeters tall, official weight 108.2 kilograms. He's 2-time Australian national champion, unbeaten as a pro with a record of 6 fights, 6 wins, 4 big wins by knockout from Sydney, Australia, Jackson White Chocolate Murray. Рефери поединка Валерий Пастухов, Молдова.
So there is the tail of the tape. 2 towering super heavyweights preparing to go head to head. I think that weight is Jackson William Murray. Certainly not 180 kilograms, but he's a super heavyweight, possesses switch hitting skills and packs quite a punch. As we are underway, the first of 3 super heavyweight contests scheduled for this IBA Champions Night here in Baku. 2 unbeaten professionals going head to head. The man operating out of the orthodox stance wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold is Solomon Adebayo. Goes by the nickname Iron Fist, undefeated in 14 professional outings, winning all 14, 13 of them inside the distance. And his opponent, currently operating out of the southpaw stance, but he is an adept switch hitter, is Jackson Murray. From Sydney in Australia. He, with a perfect record in 6 contests, 4 of them coming inside the distance, 4 of his wins coming in inside the distance, in a ledger of 6 wins out of 6. So one suspects, as is often the case when 2 big punchers share the boxing ring, a level of respect being exhibited between the other as a marauding attack sees Adebayo come forward behind arcing hooks But nice movement off the ropes from Jackson Murray to get back to the space of center ring. That touchdown from Adebayo. Not a knockdown, but a slip as the feet tangled together during his bull rush. Reaching for a right hand was Adebayo. He's rather telegraphing that left hook, but it's negated by the long arm block defense, and that's a solid right hand.
Akalar, yana bir bor jon efirga xush kelibsizlar. Murtazoyev Ibrohimjon aka, sizga ham kattakon rahmat. Akalar, yana bir marta eslatib o'tamiz. Bugun 28-sentyabr kuni Ozarbayjonning Baku shahrida IBF chempionlar oqshomi bo'lib o'tyapti. Akalar, hamyurtimiz IBA Pro jahon chempionlik kamari uchun rossiyalik Vsevolod Shumkovga qarshi 57 kilogramda jang olib boradi akalar. Yana bir nechta janglardan so'ng hamyurtimiz ringga ko'tariladi. Ungacha ham akalar iloji bo'lsa aktivni ko'taraylik. Bitta like tirsilatib qo'ysalaring, aktivimiz ancha ko'tarilgan bo'lardi. O'zbek yana 3 ta jangdan so'ng hamyurtimiz ringga ko'tariladi akalar. Akalar, jonli efir qotmayotgan bo'lsa, iloji bo'lsa kommentariyaga plus yozib yuborsalaringiz.
Here came forward behind a reverse 1-2 left cross, followed by a right jab. Jackson Murray throwing that combination on the move. As Solomon Adebayo spoken to about excessive holding. So there's a 10-second clapper as Solomon Adebayo looking to maraud his way forwards once again. What you bring, of course, it's more complex and nuanced than that. But Adebayo looking to continue his impressive KO streak. Ten first-round KOs secured by Solomon Adebayo. So Jackson Murray doing all. There's an overhand right which just causes Jackson Murray to back up as he continues to operate out of the southpaw stance, and a hard right hand followed by a left hook from Solomon Adebayo. Jackson Murray just spoken to about fending his man off with his elbow. He just looks to re-establish the gap between himself and his opponent and turn his attributes of greater height, length and reach into assets. Speaking with Jackson Murray. I said Jackson Williams because it's being billed as Jackson William Murray. All names being used during the course of his introductions and on his identifying graphic as well. But we're speaking to him before the contest here in Baku. He's telling me he didn't start boxing until he was 22 years of age. Former rugby league player, that's a big sport down in Australia. And while working on a construction site, had an injury which effectively crushed his right foot when he tried to, or when he did return after rehab, found it very difficult to run in the rugby cleats, and so switched to the sport of boxing at 22 years of age, 18 amateur contests, winning 2 national titles. And since that time, well, he's been able to go full-time as a professional, stepped off the construction site, putting the tools down some 6 months ago, and has sparred with some of the top heavyweight operators in the world, as Solomon Adebayo reaching for an overhand right and then a swooping left hook, inaccurate with both of those attempted punches. But Jackson Murray has sparred with Alexander Usyk, who was briefly the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, is coming forward behind a attempt to double jab, looking to unload the right hand of Solomon Adebayo, and now Jackson Murray turning the tables, looking to pin Adebayo in the gold corner on the far side of the ring. Left cross not too far away, but a counter right hand off the ropes from Adebayo was a beautiful shot, followed by a left hand as well, perhaps seeking to draw Jackson Murray onto that punch to double up the impact. And again, in this division more than any other, concentration has to be absolute. All boxers 1 punch and 10 seconds away from oblivion, but never more so than in the super heavyweight ranks. Nice movement laterally to his right from Jackson Murray to cause that shot from Adebayo to be inaccurate. And now getting busy with the lead right stick is Jackson Murray. Active defense with the hands from Solomon Adebayo. Right hand followed by a cuffing left, fired in by Adebayo. As the feinting just on the edge of range from Jackson Murray. Operating behind a loose-limbed, low-held guard. Second round in the books of this super heavyweight encounter. Some of the action from that second round. There was a beautiful right hand off the ropes from Jackson Murray. Both men just inaccurate as Murray came forwards, looking to spear his man with straight shots. Solomon Adebayo finding a range with the left hook while he was square on the ropes. So into the third round then, Jackson Murray emerging to begin this round as a southpaw boxer once again. He's actually in camp with Murat Gassiev, former unified cruiserweight champion of the world. Was bested by Alexander Usyk when he became the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. I was ringside in Moscow that night to commentate on that undisputed contest, as I was for many of Murat Gassiev's and indeed Alexander Usyk's bouts, as they ran the gauntlet through the World Boxing Super Series for the Muhammad Ali Trophy. But that is who Jackson Murray is in camp with at present. Right hook fired in by Solomon Adebayo, just rendered inaccurate by the layback employed by Jackson Murray. And irrespective of the outcome of this contest, he's returning to Russia to get back in camp to give Murat Gassiev some work. Gassiev, like Alexander Usyk, has since moved up from the cruiserweight division, now competing as a heavyweight. So minute and change gone in this third round as Jackson Murray shooting out a jab. And there's a nice check right hand landed as was able to spin off the line. Here's a right hand over the top, landed from Adebayo. Jackson Murray took it well, spins out of the corner, gets back to the space of center ring, but can he begin to establish that trip hammer right jab and keep the advancing Adebayo at bay? Adebayo loading up on a right hand, didn't fully commit to it, but didn't find a target either, as now Adebayo operating behind a half cover guard. Attempted offensive onslaught from Jackson Murray, not quite accurate as he darts out the jab as the two men fencing with the lead hands. Adebayo creeping forward, counter left hand attempted off the ropes from Jackson Murray, spins back nicely to the space of center ring. But after making his man miss, can he make him pay? Single jab shot out from around his belt line, trebled it up that time, and the final jab did get through from Jackson Murray. And that's what I was about to suggest for both of these boxers, as the first jab blocked, doubling it up. See Jackson Murray get through with a southpaw left, as Adebayo just content to retreat to the ropes and then spin off the line to his left. But with the single shots often being negated, evaded or blocked, which one of these boxers will seize the initiative, grab this contest by the scruff of the neck, make it a double or treble phase attack, and see if they can have success with the second or third phase of attack. Always risky, of course, in this division more than any other. Lead right hook attempted, followed by a southpaw left from Jackson Murray. Not quite able to find the mark. So closing seconds of this round. Left hand sought by Solomon. So into the second half of this bout we go. Despite his thunderous knockout ratio, as Adebayo on the front foot, and then he is turning in a double phase of attack and just put Jackson Murray on the end of the final right cross. But despite stopping 13 of his 14 opponents inside the distance, including 10 first-round KOs, this isn't new territory for Solomon Adebayo, because he has been at 8-round distance in the one contest where his opponent heard the final bell, prevailing over 8 rounds in his 12th contest in May of last year. So it's Murray on the front foot, looking to pin Adebayo in the neutral corner just above. That's a beautiful counter left hand, catching iron fist Adebayo as he came out of the neutral corner, walked him right onto the left hook, landed with a bent arm, but then Adebayo goes in search of his get back and lands a terrific right hand, which just dipped Jackson Murray at the knees. He claims his man beneath his armpits, holds on, walks himself out of the goal corner, just allows his head to clear, and now the two men shaping up on the edge of range once again. Action-packed interlude in this 4th round in our first of 3 super heavyweight contests here in Azerbaijan. So Jackson Murray just clearing his nostrils. Here's a looping left hand landed by Adebayo, and it just stiffened the legs of Jackson Murray once again. Jackson Murray claiming his man as he bull rushes him against the ropes over at the neutral corner on the far side of the ring. So beyond the halfway stage of this 4th round, both men have enjoyed some potent punch successes here in this particular frame. Good right hand landed to the body from Solomon Adebayo. There he follows up with an exploratory jab downstairs, keeps the attack going, but lost his balance as he attempted the final shot. Tied up and spun around once again by Jackson Murray. Closing 50 seconds of this stanza. Jackson Murray with his half-cover guard, hand around his torso, chin tucked behind that southpaw left glove. Adebayo reaching for the right hand by stepping to his left as the fencing continues with the lead jabs. An expectant hum around the National Gymnastics Arena, because again, both of these men possess single shot fight-ending power. There's a nice sharp right jab from Jackson Murray. Looked to follow it up but couldn't quite find the range. Left hook out of the corner from Solomon Adebayo, just playing with that mouthpiece, pushing it out momentarily. Is he feeling the pace in the closing stages of this 4th round? Comes forward behind a 2-fisted salvo once again. 4th round in the books. Saw Jackson Murray clearing his nostril during the course of that previous round, and one wonders whether he has sustained nose damage during the course of this contest. His corner team working on it in between rounds 4 and 5.
Seconds out. Пятый раунд. Round 5.
So into the 5th round of this super heavyweight contest, scheduled for 8. Out sharply behind a lead southpaw right jab is Jackson Murray, just looking to get up on his toes now as he moves counterclockwise to his right, away from the big right hand of Solomon Iron Fist Adebayo, but he couldn't avoid that one as Adebayo springs into life with that right hand lead and just found the bearded chin of Jackson Murray. Adebayo looking to continue the attack. Jackson Murray lands a nudging right hand on the inside as he looks to fend his man off with the arm bar at close range. Perhaps more into the wheelhouse of Solomon Adebayo, who weighed in at 110 kilograms out of that 1.95 meter frame. Really solid citizen up at super heavyweight. As Jackson Murray continuing to demonstrate good lateral movement to his right, as the saber rattling continues with the lead hands once more. Nice scoring shot. Adebayo just a little bit off balance as he attempted to counter. Looked to launch a counter attack, but Jackson Murray had ghosted away just as he did there by engaging reverse gear. Beautiful 1-2 off twinkle-toed movement from Jackson Murray, able to spin on the inside and just create angles for that 2-shot success. Reverse 1-2 once again, followed by a southpaw left hand from Jackson Murray, who is boxing beautifully, and he's using movement to terrific effect as he flicks out a sharp right jab from his belt line. Now he's bobbing and weaving from the waist, causing Solomon Adebayo just to be inaccurate with his straight shots. Adebayo reaching for a single jab, but it's again negated by good head movement from Jackson Murray. Jackson Murray then parrying effectively, knocking down the lead left jab of Solomon Adebayo, who then tries to Euro step his way into range, almost like Deontay Wilder. Remember when he took out Bermane Stiverne? After he knocked him down in the rematch, Euro stepped his way across the ring and unleashed all hell before sending Bermane Stiverne slumped into the canvas to end the contest inside the distance. He then put the referee on his back in such a demonstration of controlled fury. Counter left, right, left, followed by another straight shot out of the southpaw stance with the left hand from Jackson Murray, who's producing his best round of the contest so far. He's warmed into it, he's moving effectively, and that movement has just seemed to bamboozle Solomon Adebayo a little bit. We suggested in the previous round, as they test the tension of the strands just above our commentary position, Solomon Adebayo was playing with his mouthpiece, pushing it out. That's often a sign of a fighter who is just seeking to get more oxygen into his lungs. But Jackson Murray has moved really effectively here in round number 5 as he lands another southpaw left, followed by another one, backing up Solomon Adebayo. And Solomon Adebayo counters with a right hand on the bell as the contest exploding into life. Two-way action because it was Solomon Adebayo who had the final word. But prior to that, Jackson Murray boxing beautifully, sticking and moving as he was able to move around his opponents and score effectively during the course of round number 5.
Seconds out. Шестой раунд. Round 6.
So into the 6th round we go. Solomon Adebayo setting about his man behind that reverse 1-2. The right hand came first, followed by a left jab. Jackson Murray momentarily tied up on the ropes. But Solomon Adebayo, he and his team will know that Jackson Murray enjoyed a very good 5th round. So like the competitor he is, he has come out strong in search of his get back. The left hand not too far away from Adebayo. But again, Jackson Murray able to spin off the line and take himself from the edge of ring center, back to the space of center ring. Inaccurate with his own shot, as was Solomon Adebayo with the counter, and Jackson Murray digging away with his southpaw left downstairs. Solomon Adebayo, he gets himself out of the corner back to the space of the boxing ring, but was inaccurate with his attempted follow-up attack. That's a solid right hand landed by Solomon Adebayo. And another left jab, and another left jab, as Solomon Adebayo quickening his feet, backing up Jackson Murray across the boxing ring, momentarily inconveniencing the man from Sydney. Solomon Adebayo goes by the nickname of Iron Fist, and there he lands a solid right cross, which gets the attention of Jackson Murray, who just buys himself some time by initiating a clinch before disengaging and getting his man back beyond punching range. So Solomon Adebayo, as mentioned, goes by the nickname of Iron Fist, continuing to operate behind that half-cover guard, a latter-day George Foreman. I say latter-day, the George Foreman in the second half of his career, who returned to the ring after his 10-year layoff, after his religious experience when being best outpointed by Jimmy Young in San Juan, Puerto Rico in 1976. And now Jackson Murray back with his legs beneath him, looking to back up his man with his presence and his forward pressure in the ring. He goes by the nickname of White Chocolate, self-proclaimed White Chocolate, that a nickname that he shares with Jason Williams, former outstanding point guard in the NBA from the 90s and turn of the century. Said that it was a nickname bestowed upon him when he spent time training in America ahead of his United States debut last year, as Adebayo gets through with a stiff left jab. The second left jab parried by the defenses of Murray, who came through with a good southpaw left of his own. Exploratory jab to the body from Adebayo. Blocked once again by Murray, who's looking to get onto the front foot and back up the man from Lagos. Stepping out of the corner with a single jab is Adebayo, then he doubled up the jab, and the second one perhaps did get through after the first was seemingly defended effectively by Jackson Murray. Jackson Murray looking for a counter southpaw left, but the two big super heavyweights find their torsos colliding after their offense was inaccurate. So left-right, short of the mark from Adebayo, closing seconds of this sixth round. And another round fought at a terrific clip. Some of the action here was a really strong right cross landed by Solomon Adebayo in the early stages of the round, keeping his wits about him and able to avoid the follow-up attack was Jackson Murray. Then it was clipped by another left hand, and then as he sought to retreat, right and left drove him back across the ring.
Seconds out. Round 7.
So as the timekeeper announces round 7, this represents brand new territory in the professional career of Jackson Murray. It's been a 6-round distance on his last 2 outings in September and November of last year. But hearing the man call round 7 for the first time as a pro, there's a nice scoring left jab from Solomon Adebayo. Came forward behind a right cross, but Jackson Murray able to back up and render the attempted offense to fall short. Heads coming together on the inside, as is often the case between southpaw and orthodox boxers. So both men continuing to circle one another on the edge of range. Jackson Murray just backing his man up, rather telegraphed that left hook did Solomon Adebayo, easily evaded by Jackson Murray, who then goes in search of a counter 1-2. The southpaw left cross came first, but Solomon Adebayo rendering those 2 punches inaccurate. So Solomon Adebayo just feinting. Hands held high now by Jackson Murray as he sought to play counter-puncher, but his southpaw left was off the mark. Scoring left jab off the back foot from Solomon Adebayo. Then he got through with a glancing right cross. Can Jackson Murray return to the sticking and moving that he demonstrated so effectively in round number 5? He's over the front foot once again, looking to back up Solomon Adebayo to his own corner and getting through with straight shots, encouraged by his corner. Reaching for a scoring jab to the body is Solomon Adebayo, as again looking to dominate the space of centre ring as the heads come together in a battle between orthodox and southpaw once more. But Jackson Murray just looking to get over that front foot once again. Just beyond the halfway stage of this penultimate round, what has been a dynamic super heavyweight contest between two knockout artists who find the opponent standing in front of them. Left jab while going walkabout, thrusted out by Solomon Adebayo, then a scoring right cross to the body. He's got his boxing stance back beneath him, finding himself confined near his own corner. Beautiful jab and then a right hand and a tangle of legs. Sends Adebayo in between the ropes. No knockdown, the legs tangled up. But it seemed to me as though a shot was landed during the course of that trip to the canvas by Solomon Adebayo. Oh, that's a beautiful counter left hand from Jackson Murray. But then a leaping left hook landed twice in quick succession from Adebayo. Counter by a left cross once again, and another one from Jackson Murray. Terrific two-way action in the penultimate round of this super heavyweight clash. Big swing and a miss with the left hook from Solomon Adebayo, courtesy of good movement in the pocket from Jackson Murray. Nice scoring right jab from Jackson Murray. Closing seconds of this round. Nice defense with the glove from Jackson Murray to parry the jab of Solomon Adebayo once again. Another very good round of competitive boxing. And this one very close with 3 minutes remaining. At least that's how I have it on my scorecard. Some of the action from round number 7. So this is where the legs got tangled up in a battle between orthodox and southpaw. The referee, Mr. Anop, Mr. Valery Pashtuhov, perfectly placed and ruling it was a slip rather than a punch, which sent the man from Nigeria through the ropes.
The final round.
So into the 8th and final round then, and a stiff right hand landed out of that southpaw stand from Jackson Murray in a super heavyweight contest that has been very competitive and dynamic thus far. So Jackson Murray over that front foot, incrementally creeping his way forward, looking for a counter right hand was Solomon Adebayo, but it went over the left shoulder of the advancing Jackson Murray. And now the two men saber rattling with the jabs once again. And now it's, oh, what a solid right hand landed by Solomon Adebayo. But showing terrific toughness and punch resistance is Jackson Murray, because he took it flush but barely blinked, retained his boxing stance, and is now circling counterclockwise once again. But that a howitzer of a right hand landed by Solomon Adebayo, perhaps the most solid shot of the entire contest. But from this vaunted KO artist, perhaps surprised to see that Jackson Murray remained on his feet. Counter right hand catches the advancing Solomon Adebayo and sends him to the canvas. Again, perhaps the legs did tangle in the contest between orthodox and southpaw boxer. But again, Mr. Valery Pashtuhov of Moldova ruling it a slip. Arcing left hook followed by a right cross fired in by Adebayo, but inaccurate. As Jackson Murray looking to re-establish that southpaw right jab as the two men just circling in the space of center ring. Adebayo playing with that mouthpiece once again. Is he feeling the pace deep into this contest scheduled for 8? Minute remaining in this super heavyweight encounter. Oh my goodness, that was a rather ponderous right hand fired out by Adebayo, and that's why it was countered by a scoring southpaw left over the top from Jackson Murray. Perhaps fortunately he wasn't made to pay a heavy price, because that one came via second-class delivery from Solomon Adebayo, and he was picked off with a point-scoring shot from the man from Sydney. closing 30 seconds of this final round. As edging forwards, bobbing and weaving while doing so is Jackson Murray, looking to back his man towards his own corner. Solomon Adebayo will know where he is in the boxing ring as he reaches for a right cross, couldn't find a range. Jackson Murray's attempted counter, not quite on the mark. But both men maintaining the pace during what has been a really entertaining super heavyweight contest. It's been competitive as well. Big swing and a miss with a southpaw left uppercut twice in quick succession from Jackson Murray, but not able to find the range on any of his attempted left uppercuts. And wonderful to see that respect between the two. Both men experiencing something of a rarity, and that is hearing the final bell. Now, I've got this very close indeed. After 8 3-minute rounds of boxing, I wouldn't be surprised if a verdict of a draw was returned here. But what say the 3 scoring judges? There was a terrific contest. It was a terrific contest, and a really solid right cross landed in that final round by Solomon Adebayo. And given his KO ratio of 13 knockouts in his 14 victories, I suspect when he's landed that right cross previously, contests have reached an early conclusion. But Jackson Murray took it well and ended the contest with some accurate jabbing and high activity. So which way is this one going to go? Terrific contest in our 5th bout of the evening here at the National Gymnastics Arena in Baku. Both boxers will be no doubt replaying the contest in their minds as we await the verdict. I can tell you that our MC, Mr. Alexander Sadokov, just making his way from his position ringside to the steps at the neutral corner on the far side of the ring, meaning that he is in possession of the scores and will be delivering the announcement shortly.
Итак, дамы и господа, прежде чем мы узнаем имя победителя, ваши аплодисменты обоим боксерам за этот яркий бой. Итак, после 8 раундов поединка мнения судей разделились. Таким образом, раздельным решением судей. And your winner by split decision from the gold corner.
And it is Jackson Murray, declared a split decision victor at the conclusion of a very competitive super heavyweight encounter indeed. Solomon Adebayo, crestfallen at the announcement of the division, sinking to his knees on the canvas in disappointment at the verdict. But it was a very close encounter where both men enjoyed success, and it's a split decision verdict in favor of Jackson Murray. Well, that was so close, so competitive, and so entertaining. I, for one, wouldn't mind seeing that again on an IBA Champions Night stage in the near future. But here and now in Baku, Azerbaijan, it is Jackson Murray who has prevailed on a split decision verdict, and Solomon Adebayo experiencing defeat for the first time, having won his previous 14 contests out of 14, 13 of them coming by the short route. And again, he's continuing to reconcile this verdict in his mind, but the respect between the two, absolute. A terrific contest in the first of 3 super heavyweight bouts here tonight. And it is Jackson Murray who has made a successful IBA Champions Night debut. But again, the manner in which both of them performed, surely they have earned an invitation to future Champions Night events. Solomon Adebayo landed some heavy shots during the course of the contest. Jackson Murray, in his good portions of the bout, displayed wonderful sticking and moving. Two tall super heavyweights with contrasting skill sets, and each of them were able to utilize them at various portions of the bout. But when the scores were tallied and the verdict announced, it was that man, Jackson Murray, who was declared a split decision victor. And having been so close in terms of the manner in which they contested it throughout the bout, the verdict putting them into decidedly contrasting emotional states. What a contest.
Дамы и господа, мы идем далее, и на очереди еще один поединок в тяжелом весе. Нас ожидает настоящая битва. Казахстан против Азербайджана. Бой запланирован на 6 раундов. And now we keep staying in heavyweight division. It's time for 6 rounds bout Kazakhstan versus Azerbaijan. And now please welcome to the black corner from Kazakhstan, Nursultan Amanjola.
So into the arena is a man who is no stranger to IBA Champions Night action, the towering figure of Kazakhstan's Nursultan Amanjalov. 6 feet 7 inches tall and packs a mighty punch out of the southpaw stance. 8 fights in the professional ranks, 7 wins, 6 of them inside the distance. But lost against Lazizbek Mullajonov in his 6th bout outing in the paid code.
Золотой угол ринга. Легенда азербайджанского бокса. Making his way to the gold corner from Azerbaijan, Magomed Rasul Mechidov.
What a wonderful ovation for a man who needs no introduction in IBA boxing, because that is the legendary, iconic figure of Magomed Rasul Mechidov, 37 years of age now, and what a glittering career this man amassed in the 3-round code of IBA boxing. A 3-time World Championship gold medalist in Baku in his home country in 2011, in 2013 in Almaty, and in 2017 in Hamburg. An Olympic bronze medalist in London 2012. So much success in the 3-round format of IBA boxing. 4-fight record as a professional, winning his first 3 before losing his last outing courtesy of an ankle injury in April of 2021.
Представляю участников боя первого боксера слева от меня в черном углу. Ему 31 год, его рост 198 сантиметров, а вес 118,8 килограмма. Двукратный чемпион Республики Казахстан с рекордом 8 боев, 7 побед, только одно поражение, 6 ярких побед нокаутом. Он носит прозвище «Ночной поезд». Introducing first, in the black corner, he stands 198 centimeters tall. He weighed in at 118.8 kilograms. He is 2-time Kazakhstan national champion with 7 wins, just 1 defeat, 6 big wins by knockout, representing Almaty, Kazakhstan, Nursultan Night Train Amanjola. Его соперник напротив, в золотом углу ринга, 38 лет, его рост 190 сантиметров, а вес 106,8 килограмма. Чемпион Европы, 3-кратный чемпион мира, бронзовый призер Олимпийских игр в Лондоне, заслуженный мастер спорта. Introducing across the ring, wearing white with gold. He stands 190 centimeters tall, official weight 106.8 kilograms. He is European gold medalist, 3 times amateur champion of the world, Olympic bronze medalist, honored master of sport, fighting pride of Azerbaijan, Magomed Rasul Bejidov.
So a quick look at the tail of the tape in this battle between two outstanding super heavyweights. Mahamad Rasul Majidov, 38 years of age now, against Nursultan Amjalov. As we move into the first of a 6-round super heavyweight contest. Beautiful jab landed by the man wearing white trunks trimmed with gold, and that is Mahamad Rasul Majidov. Used to go by the name of Magomed Rasul Majidov, but has changed the emphasis, and he's the more compact figure wearing the white trunks trimmed with gold. The taller figure who's looking for a left jab of his own is Nursultan Amanjalov. Nursultan Amanjalov was in Champions Night action earlier this year. He was outpointed on a split decision verdict against Bekan Israilov at Champions Night action in Ufa. So he's familiar with the format, familiar with the stage, and it's Majidov here on home soil, just looking to operate out of ring center before being claimed by Amanjalov before the two men disengage. Be interested to see what Majidov's movement is like as he drives a good right hand to the body, turns a right hand to the bearded chin of Amanjalov. Because again, in his last outing in a boxing ring in April of 2021, that was over in Florida at the Hard Rock Cafe. He was stopped in the opening round against Andrei Fedosov. Dropped by a right cross in the first, but in taking a tumble to the canvas, weighed, remember that's 105 kilograms going through the ankle that was rolled, as Majidov getting on the front foot once again, looking for a right uppercut underneath. There's a beautiful left jab during that combination from Majidov, but he rolled his ankle, got back to his feet, couldn't retain his boxing stance and was sent to the floor again, and he wasn't even concerned about the shot he'd just taken to his chin. It was his right ankle that prevented him from continuing, but he seems to be moving freely enough here now. Majidov, left, right to the body. And he scores with another right hand downstairs as Nursultan Amanjalov just seeking to establish that left jab now and use it as a deterrent to keep the advancing Majidov at bay. There's a good scoring left jab from Amanjalov, but again, finding himself in his own corner, just stealing a glance to that black corner to get instructions from beyond the ropes. Right hand around the corner, snuck behind the left glove of Amanjalov to render it a point-scoring blow. Scoring left jab from Amanjalov, moving off to his left, but then scoring effectively with a left-right downstairs is Majidov. Terrific opening round of
Round 2.
So we move into the second round. Majidov bobbing and weaving out of center ring and looking to step over that front foot and take it to Amanjalov, who spins out of the neutral corner and back to the space of ring center. There he thrusts out a double jab. Good head movement demonstrated by Majidov. Solid left jab driven into the chest, and again from Majidov, twice in quick succession. Turning the tables is Amanjalov, and he lands a big right cross, which just disrupted the boxing stance of Majidov. Majidov looking to fight back, but also then keen to claim his man, just forcing the intervention of the referee. Well, again, I wanted to see how the legs of Majidov were going to hold up as he scores with a left right to the body. Jab, then cross. Does Majidov, beautiful left jab out of the corner from Amanjalov, and then a big left hook checks the chin of Amanjalov as he was pinned in his own black corner, just above our commentary position here. Mention the fact that the super heavyweight in our previous encounter, Jackson Murray, has spent time sparring with Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou, and a whole host of other top-rated heavyweights. Nursultan Amanjalov possesses a similar resume. Trained alongside Nursultan Amanjalov at Stonebridge Boxing Club as he lands a beautiful left jab for the best part of 2 years when he was living in London. Stonebridge Boxing Club just a stone's throw away from Wembley Stadium, where 96,000 people crammed into the venue last week to see the 2011 World Championship silver medalist and 2012 Olympic champ Anthony Joshua in that slugfest against Daniel Dubois. A nice right hand landed by Majidov. But Stonebridge Boxing Club, often used by professionals who have bouts at Wembley, as Amanjalov takes in a big lungful of oxygen, just managed to weave away from that incoming fire from the right cross of Majidov. But that is where Nursultan Amanjalov was based for the best part of 2 years. Good left jab landed by Majidov, so as a result I trained alongside him frequently and was often on hand to see him spar against Dubois, see him spar against AJ. Oh, that's a beautiful right cross landed by Amanjalov, who was able to step his way out of the neutral corner and land behind the 1-2. But Majidov, showcasing the competitor that he is, right back into the breach, going in search of his own offense. So just looking for that right hand, he's got it caught once again. Amanjalov, you can see him looking to time the advancing Majidov and put him on the end of it, but not able to uncoil it before Majidov got himself into his own wheelhouse. So Majidov edging forwards once again. Both men just inaccurate with their final attempt at attacks, but a very good opening round where both men enjoyed success with some eye-catching straight punches. There was the right hand landed by Nursultan Amanjalov, which certainly got the attention of Mohammad Rasul Majidov. But then he backed up Amanjalov to his own corner and landed with a beautiful lead left. Kept the attack going and found the range with a left hook as well.
Третий раунд. Round 3.
So into the third round we go. It's scheduled for 6, and it has been fought at a terrific tempo so far. This the second of 3 super heavyweight contests on our IBA Champions Night card here at the National Gymnastics Arena in Baku, Azerbaijan. Physical on the inside. And again, having trained alongside Nursultan Amanjalov for the extensive period that I did at Stonebridge Boxing Club in northwest London, even though Mohammad Rasul Majidov at 106.8 kilograms and built like a refrigerator, he's going to be really strong on the inside. Let me tell you, Nursultan Amanjalov is an immensely strong individual indeed. Majidov has just got a cut to his left eye. It's not leaking at the moment. The referee takes a close look at the eye injury of Majidov. He's happy for the contest to continue without inspection from the doctor. Beautiful left jab, then left hook from Nursultan Amanjalov. Back comes Majidov with a left hook, and he's backed his man into the corner and lands a pile-driving right cross and another overhand right, just checking the chin of Nursultan Amanjalov. Nursultan Amanjalov stealing a glance over the top rope. Counter right hand, not too far away from Nursultan Amanjalov, but keeping the attack going is Majidov. And that eye injury above his left optic just worsening now. It's not leaking blood, so it won't be obscuring his vision, as a left hook landed to the body from Nursultan Amanjalov, followed by a lead left jab. Into range and landing with a left hook is Majidov. As Nursultan Amanjalov finds himself in another corner yet again. He's not quite going from corner to corner, but he's finding himself increasingly with his back against the turnbuckle of one corner or another of the rope square of the boxing ring. Inside the final minute of this fourth round, the referee happy to let the two men work it out on the inside. So Majidov back over the front foot once more, seeking to press the action. There's a whiplash of a left jab, followed by another pulverizing lead left, which snaps the head back of Nursultan Amanjalov. Terrific portion of the round for Majidov, piecing his man up with straight punches. Amanjalov has spun out to the space of center ring. He gets through with a left jab of his own, but nice head movement on his forward foray being demonstrated by Mohammad Rasul Majidov, and a beautiful counter left hand brings a round of applause from this knowledgeable crowd here at the National Gymnastics Arena. Amanjalov seeking for straight punch successes behind left and right, but keeping the attack going and finding a home for his left hand is Mohammad Rasul Majidov. There's a battle cry from Nursultan Amanjalov as he makes his way back to the black corner. Terrifically competitive round once again, but greater activity coming from Majidov, who was able to get over the front foot and conclude the round with some really effective punching.
Четвертый раунд. Round 4.
So we move into the fourth round. There's a beautiful jab to the body, landed by Amanjalov, countered by a straight shot upstairs from Majidov. And it's Majidov looking to have the final word of any trade that ensues. He's on the front foot once again, disregarding that injured left eye. The eye injury picked up seemingly in the third round. But again, the corner have done a good job preventing it from leaking blood and obscuring the vision. Roundhouse rights exchanged by the men, with Amanjalov with his back pinned to the ropes. They tango one another out to the space of center ring. And it's Majidov looking the more dynamic figure. Left jab to the body, right cross over the top, as Amanjalov has gone from the neutral corner on this near side of the ring to the neutral corner on the far side of the ring. There's a good left hook slung into the body by the former three-time IBA world champion. I commentated on all of his world championship triumphs. Mohammad Rasul Majidov. I was here in Baku at the Haydar Aliyev Concert Complex in 2011, when he and Anthony Joshua produced a battle royal for their ages. That was in the era of computer scoring in head guards. It was 22-11, excuse me, 22-21. Right uppercut, left hook attempted by Amanjalov, not too far away. Beautiful left jab from Majidov once again, followed by another jab and right hand to the body, as Amanjalov finds himself in yet another corner. This time it's the corner of Majidov on the far side of the ring from our commentary position. But the gold medal bout in his home city as another single left steamrolls its way home from Majidov. But that was a gold medal bout for the ages, worth digging out off the internet if you're so inclined. And this man was hit so hard as he lands a right hand, but he sucked it up, took everything that AJ could throw at him to claim the first of his 3 world titles. And then his second world title in Almaty, he took out another towering Kazakh boxer in the form of the 6'9" Ivan Dichko. A dramatic inside the distance victory. I commentated on that gold medal run as well. And I was ringside in Hamburg in 2017 when he made it 3 super heavyweight titles. One of the best servants of IBA boxing over the course of his glittering career, and there he lands another picture-perfect right cross as Amanjalov finds himself in a corner yet again. Again, it's not quite corner to corner, but he's spending an awful lot of time confined in various corners of the boxing ring. And now Majidov teeing off with hooks. The boxers practically above my commentary position. That's the sound.
Yana bir modda assalomu alaykum do'stlar. Bugun Baku, Ozarbayjonning Baku shahrida IBF chempionlar oqshomi bo'lib o'tyapti akalar. Ahamiyatlisi ushbu musobaqada hamyurtimiz Mirazizbek Mirzahalilov va rossiyalik bokschi Vsevolod Shumkov 57 kg vaznda IBA Pro jahon chempionlik kamari uchun o'zaro jang qilishadi akalar. Yana bir jangdan so'ng hamyurtimiz ringga ko'tariladi. Hamyurtimizni qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz akalar. Bizni 90-100 nafardan ziyod odam tomosha qilyapti akalar. Hamyurtimizni qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz. Aktivni ko'tarishga yordam berasizlar degan umiddaman. Bittadan like ni tirslatib qo'yasizlar. Tez orada hamyurtimiz ringga ko'tariladi.
Some of the action from that round. Round number 4. Amanjalov spent an awful lot of time in the corner or against the ropes. Plenty tough. But Majidov was able to pile up the points during the course of that 4th round.
Round 5.
So into the 5th round we go. And Majidov in his familiar posture over that front foot once again. Nice 2-shot salvo off the ropes from Amanjalov. Oh, that's a big left hook landed by Amanjalov, but countered immediately by a 2-shot combination from Muhammad Rasul Majidov. He's looking to swarm his way forwards once again. But again, absolutely nothing wrong or lacking in the competitive spirit or desire of Nursultan Amanjalov, but he finds himself against the ropes once more. And the jab of Muhammad Rasul Majidov, as effective as it was during his rampaging pomp in IBA 3-round boxing. Stepping over the front foot and applying pressure once again. There's a nice check left hook from Amanjalov as he was able to spin out of the confines of his own black corner back to the space of center ring. Tries a right hand, couldn't find a mark, but he's countered by a stiff left jab from Majidov. Left hook around the corner, right uppercut through the middle from Majidov, and then a beautiful overhand right landing flush against Amanjalov, and I think he's been hurt by that shot. The nose may have been damaged because he's backing up, he wasn't punching back, and he was spitting blood from his mouth. So a torrid 5th round being endured by Nursultan Amanjalov. And again, the commitment that is one of the hallmarks of this man's boxing being fully tested now. There he lands with a left hook out of the neutral corner, but he finds himself in a corner once again. Left jab is a scoring shot, and another one cracks into his face, followed by a left uppercut and right cross. Terrific portion of the round enjoyed by Mahammad Rasul Majidov. And Nursultan Amanjalov showing his toughness and conditioning once again. His face beginning to swell from the injury that he sustained to that nose. And if it is a broken nose, as he spits more blood once again, well, that is going to make breathing very difficult indeed. That injury sustained in the 4th round from an accidental clash of heads. And again, terrific work from Amanjalov. Straight punches through the middle, ended by a left hook. The boxers exchanging jabs as Majidov pressing forwards once again. 2-shot success followed by another jab, backs Amanjalov to the ropes, and Amanjalov encouraging his man, goading his man, saying, come on, bring it to me, as he attempts a right cross out of the neutral corner and boxes right up into the bell. And that is why I received that love tap of respect on the shoulder from Mahammad Rasul Majidov, because he has really put it on Nursultan Amanjalov, but Amanjalov still in there competing, still in there believing that he can win. Some of the action from round number 5. Wonderful jab, pistoned out from the shoulder from Majidov. And again, given the solid successes that he was able to enjoy with shots from both flanks, at the end there was a pat of respect from Majidov in the direction of Nursultan Amanjalov. Cracking right uppercut, followed by a left, and then the right cross over the top.
Заключительный 6-й раунд, the final round.
So into the final round of what has been, oh, that's a beautiful left jab once again at the start of round number 6 from Mahammad Rasul Majidov. Then he drops down with a scoring left jab to the body of Nursultan Amanjalov, who is still in there competing, despite that turns a nice right uppercut underneath, only to have his chin checked by a cracking right hand landed with a bent elbow from Majidov. But Nursultan Amanjalov, who sustained a damaged nose during a clash of heads in the 4th round, has been outscored during the course of this contest, but the man's commitment, his conditioning, or his desire simply cannot be questioned. Majidov continuing to walk his man down, scores with a left jab once again, as Amanjalov takes a right cross to the body and continues to goad his man, talking defiantly in his direction as he takes in a big lungful of oxygen through a mouth that is wide open. The nose damage visible after that clash of heads in round number 4. But absolutely no quit in Nursultan Amanjalov, as again he clears his nose and spits more blood, approaching the halfway stage of this 6th and final round. Left, right, followed by double left hook, but then a cracking left hook landed off the back foot while pivoting from Majidov. And my goodness, these are 2 tough hombres. That straight shot combination just stopped Amanjalov in his tracks, and he had to back up. Then he takes a right cross and a left jab, and he's having to disengage once again, because I think that nose is being damaged further, and he lands a pulverizing right cross, countered by a right hand from Majidov. Majidov then with double left hook success, walking his man down as though he owes him something. Terrific work from Majidov. Incredible toughness from Amanjalov. Minute remaining in this final round as both men enjoying successes with their jabs. The left eye of Majidov closing, the nose of Amanjalov damaged. Both men giving everything in pursuit of victory. As a double jab, body then head, followed by 2 right crosses from Majidov. Intelligently claiming his man and getting back out to the space of ring center is Amanjalov. And again, oh, there's a wonderful right cross landed from Amanjalov, who still believes that he can win. But for my money, he's going to need an inside the distance victory here, and he's running out of time in which to find it. being pursued relentlessly by Muhammad Rasul Majidov. Nice head movement at this late stage, and despite the punches he has shipped from Muhammad Rasul Majidov, and that nose and that face continuing to almost metamorphose before our very eyes, reminiscent of when George Foreman fought Axel Schultz. The eyes closing of Nursultan Amanjalov. Terrific work, and look at that respect between two gallant warriors, giving absolutely everything in pursuit of victory. For what it's worth, I happen to think that Muhammad Rasul Majidov, the man who resides here in Baku, Azerbaijan, and has very much got the keys to the city, giving his global successes in the 3-round format of IBA boxing. I think he's going to be declared a unanimous point decision victor here. But as evidenced by that cut and swollen left eye, he knows that he has been in a fight tonight. And that resistance was put forth by Nursultan Amanjalov, the towering, teak-tough individual from Kazakhstan. His face swollen, giving him an appearance that resembles a gargoyle over in the black corner. But he never stopped competing, never stopped believing, really testing Muhammad Rasul Majidov. And there is evidence of the swollen, misshapen eyes endured by Nursultan Amanjalov after his nose was damaged in the 4th round after an accidental clash of heads. The right hands and jabs that he was taking on it thereafter would have only exacerbated the injury and increased his discomfort, but there was not an ounce of quit evident in the manner in which Amanjalov stuck to his task. A terrific contest, and we're just moments away from getting the verdict, a verdict that I happen to believe will see Muhammad Rasul Majidov declared as a winner on points.
Дамы и господа, если вам понравился этот поединок, давайте вместе поблагодарим обоих боксеров за это ярчайшее зрелище, победу в котором единогласным решением судей. And your winner by unanimous decision from the gold corner, Muhammad Rasul Majidov!
So there is confirmation of a unanimous points decision victory for Muhammad Rasul Majidov, making a successful return to the boxing ring after a lengthy absence. And my goodness, the manner in which he went about his work suggests as though he has never been away. Welcome once again, everyone, to the National Gymnastics Arena in Baku, Azerbaijan, where you join us for the remaining 3 bouts on what has been a magnificent evening of IBA Champions Night Boxing.
Добрый вечер, Акшамный Схир Баки! В прямом эфире из прекрасной столицы Азербайджана Баку грандиозное боксерское шоу IBA Ночь Чемпионов! Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you in Baku, Azerbaijan's International Boxing Association. IBA President Umar Nazarovich Kremlov, Azerbaijan Boxing Federation and IBA General Partner Gazprom presents you an outstanding boxing show. IBA Champions Night. And now it's time for special attraction. 10 rounds of boxing for the WBA Asia Middle East and WBA Fedelatin Cruiserweight title. И сейчас пришло время 10-раундового поединка за титулы чемпиона WBA Asia Middle East и WBA Fedelatin в первом тяжелом весе. Дамы и господа, добро пожаловать супервайзер WBA Орхан Мухтаров, Азербайджан. И сейчас приветствуйте на пути в черный угол ринга из Венесуэлы. And now, making his way to the ring from Venezuela, Rosman Brito. Сейчас добро пожаловать в золотой угол ринга, представляющий Кубу. Please welcome to the gold corner from Cuba, Lenar Perez.
His opponent is another undefeated professional, the sublimely talented Lenar Perez from Cuba. Brings to the ring a perfect record, 12 fights, 12 wins, 12 of those wins coming inside the distance. No man has made it through to the final bell. Incredibly talented operator, and he sets about his opponents in a hurry. 2 first-round knockouts on his record, acquired during the course of that 100% KO ratio. Actually resides in Russia. There's the man from Cuba. We get the official introduction.
За титулы чемпиона WBA Asia Middle East и WBA Fedelatin в первом тяжелом весе. This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds in cruiserweight division for the WBA Asia Middle East and WBA Fedelatin titles. Sanctioned by the WBA supervisor Orkhan Mukhtarov, Azerbaijan. Our 3 referees judging at ringside are Galip Abiyev, Anar Nagdiev, Emin Gurban Aliyev, all from Azerbaijan. Your timekeepers, Farhad Rakhmanov, Rovshan Gadirov, Azerbaijan. Third man at the ring will be giving the instructions, Anar Babanli, Azerbaijan. Итак, представляю участников этого боя. И первый боксера в черном углу ринга. Ему 34 года. Рост 193 сантиметра, вес 88,7 килограмма. Его безупречный рекорд насчитывает 11 боев, 11 побед, 9 ярких побед нокаутом. Чемпион Венесуэлы среди любителей. Действующий чемпион WBC Latino в бриджервейте. Introducing first in the black corner, he stands 100 centimeters tall. He weighed in 89.7 kilograms. His record a perfect one, 11 fights, 11 wins, 9 big wins by knockout. Venezuela amateur champion, WBC Latino bridgerweight champion from Caracas, Venezuela, Rosman Brito. Его сопернику в золотом углу 26 лет, рост 195 сантиметров, вес 90,4 килограмма. Четырехкратный чемпион Кубы среди молодежи, не знающий поражений профессионал с устрашающим рекордом 12 боев, 12 побед, все 12 нокаутом. Он представляет Maceo Cuba. And his opponent across the ring, wearing white with gold. He stands 195 centimeters tall. He weighed in at 90.5 kilograms. He's four-time Cuban youth champion with sensational record consisting of 12 fights, 12 wins, all 12 by knockout. Representing Maceo Cuba, introducing the hard-hitting Lemar Perez.
So there a look at the tail of the tape between these two undefeated cruiserweight boxers. Perfect KO ratio for the man coming out of the gold corner, and an 82% KO ratio for the man coming out of the black corner. So highly unlikely that this one is going to go the distance. It's scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds, and it's for a WBA regional title. We're underway. Two undefeated cruiserweights, each capable of taking their men out inside the distance, facing off for a WBA regional title, Asia Middle East title and a Federa Latin title. The man wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold is Venezuela's Rosman Brito, the man who has just scored with a right cross over the top out of that orthodox stance. He's from Cuba but actually lives in Vladikavkaz in Russia, and that is Lenor Perez. He's 26 years old. You can see that he is patiently operating out of the space of ring center. You can see active with his hands is Brito. Moving clockwise to his left, could be walking on to that right hand of Perez, who in addition to his 100% KO ratio, there's a beautiful left jab, and again followed by a right cross to the body from Perez. But he's also shown the ability to rally during the course of contests. Has Perez, and there's a beautiful right cross landed around the temple or the ear of Brito. Those are the shots that can disrupt equilibrium, and straight punches being thrusted out by Brito, but they're coming back in a circuitous fashion. They're not getting back to the on-guard position. There's a solid right cross landed from Perez during that exchange. It was the sharper of the shots that landed almost simultaneously. And again, Perez has found his range immediately as Brito, straight shot successes of his own in between the defenses of Perez. Perez with a corkscrew right followed by a looping left, but showing wonderful poise in the face of the fire that's coming in his direction. Beautiful right hand, and it stiffened the legs of Brito and sent him tottering backwards. My goodness, that was defense to offense in a flash from Lenor Perez. Pivoting at the waist, performing the salute, putting his gloves up to his temple, and then coiled from that defensive posture with a right cross that landed flush against Brito. There's another right hand left hook, and he's dipped the knees of Brito once again. Right uppercut and another left hook, and Brito on legs that are unsteady, but he's continuing to try to demonstrate that offense, the best form of defense, because he's letting his hands go. His chin is an open target because his hands aren't bracketing his head. Walking his man down on the sound of the 10-second clapper is Perez. As another right hand lands twice in quick succession, and it deposits Rosman Brito on the canvas. He may well be saved by the bell, but he's going to have to beat the count in the first order of business, and I'm not sure he's going to do so. No, he gets up, he's been knocked down twice by the same shot. And a first round KO by Leonard Perez sees him maintain his 100% KO ratio. An absolutely scintillating display of sharp shooting offensive skills by Leonard Perez, who stood toe-to-toe with Rosman Brito. And in this battle of knockout artists, it's the man from Cuba who has come out on top. Terrific sharp shooting. There's Brito having his own successes, but there's a right hand from Perez that stiffened his legs. And when he emerged from that stiff-legged stance, they were unsteady, and the second right cross sent him down to the canvas. He gamely tried to make it back to his feet, but he simply could not muster the coordination to regain control of his senses and get back upright. Nothing wrong with the man's competitive spirit, but simply having no control of his motor skills whatsoever. A terrific performance by Leonard Perez, who has now made it 13 fights, 13 wins, 13 KO victories. He has claimed that WBA regional title and maintained his perfect knockout clip. And Rosman Brito, with a look on his face as though he does not know what has hit him. But it was the repeated sharp shooting successes of Leonard Perez that brought about his demise in the opening round. What a performance. And good to see that Brito appears to be okay, just having his gloves removed as we take another look. Again, in the midst of a trade-off, a left hook landed by Brito in what could well have been a last roll of the dice. But two right crosses landed in quick succession, sent him down to the floor on his haunches. Unable to beat the count, and a first-round knockout secured by Leonard Perez, the third first-round knockout in the biggest fight of his career to date. Here at this IBA Champions Night event in Baku.
Дамы и господа, рефери боя Анар Бабанли остановил поединок на отметке 2 минуты и 53 секунды стартового раунда. Referee Anar Babanli has stopped the contest in round one. Your winner by knockout, a new WBA Asia Middle East and WBA FIDE Latin Cruiserweight champion from Cuba, Leonard Perez. Дамы и господа, мы идем далее, и на очереди 8-раундовый поединок в тяжелом весе. Now we're ready for 8 rounds in heavyweight division. Please welcome to the black corner from Colombia, Christian Salcedo.
Boxing. How exciting is it that that will be returning in the winter under the IBA competition umbrella.
Welcome to the gold corner from Azerbaijan, Mohamed Abdullayev.
Well, Azerbaijan have a terrific tradition of super heavyweight successes. And this man, Mohamed Abdullayev, picking up the mantle that was established by Magomed Majidov. Absolutely outstanding boxer is Mohamed Abdullayev. So much experience under his belt. World Championship bronze medalist from the last edition in Tashkent last summer, adding to the one that he won in the edition before in Belgrade in 2021.
Дамы и господа, нас ожидают 8 раундов в тяжелом весе. Представляю соперников и первых боксеров в черном углу ринга. Ему 32 года, рост 191 сантиметр, вес 101,5 килограмма. Чемпион панамериканских игр, участник чемпионата мира в Белграде и Ташкенте, участник Олимпийских игр в Токио с дебютом в профессионалах. Introducing first in the black corner, his stance is 191.1 centimeters tall. He weighed in at 101.5 kilograms. He is Pan American Games champion, former 2020 Tokyo Olympian, making his professional debut from Medellin, Colombia, Christian Salcedo! Его сопернику в золотом углу 25 лет, рост 189 сантиметров, а вес 116,2 килограмма. Двукратный бронзовый призер чемпионатов мира, финалист Европейских игр, участник Олимпийских игр в Токио. Как и его соперник, сегодня впервые выходит на профессиональный ринг. And his opponent across the ring in the gold corner. He stands 189 centimeters tall. He weighed in at 116.2 kilograms. He is two-time amateur world bronze medalist, former Tokyo Olympian, also making his professional debut from Baku, Azerbaijan. Mohamed Abdullayev! Рефери поединка Сергей Жургин, Россия.
So there a look at the tail of the tape between Mohamed Abdullayev and Christian Salcedo. Even though Abdullayev listed as the taller man, you saw from the coming together during the final instructions from the referee that it's Salcedo who is the taller of the two boxers. So we're underway then. Two of the best IBA super heavyweights in the world going head-to-head in this super heavyweight contest, scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds. Taller figure, wearing black, trimmed with gold, is Christian Salcedo. Multiple participants in IBA World Championships, including 2017 quarter-finalist at the edition in Hamburg. I was ringside to commentate on that tournament. We lost to the man from Cameroon, Arsène Foku Fosso. An opponent wearing the white trunks trimmed with gold, who is a wonderful switch hitter, very relaxed operator, able to box either orthodox or southpaw with fantastic timing and rhythm and flow, never rushed. That is the man who resides in Baku, Azerbaijan, who has just cracked home a lead left hand to the delight of his home fans here, and that is Mohamed Abdullayev. Right cross reached for by Salcedo. Both of these men competing in IBA Champions Night action for the first time, but as mentioned, Christian Salcedo, a veteran of World Series boxing from the 2017 season onwards, facing off against some of the top operators in the world of IBA boxing with the vest, without the vest and head guard of the 3-round code. So it's Abdullayev. Just takes a good left-right combination to the body. Salcedo saying in the lead-up to this contest that his preparation has been ideal, and he expects to put that into good use and prevail in impressive fashion. But Abdullayev has also been preparing including a stint over in the United States earlier this year. Competed in his second Olympic Games in Paris, where he was bested by the man who would eventually take Olympic bronze, and that was Nelvi Tiafak. But again, back-to-back World Championship bronzes at super heavyweight, testament to his status as one of the very best in the world. Here he is competing over something longer than 3 rounds for the first time in his career. But he always gave me the impression, Abdullayev, because he is so relaxed and so fluid, that increasing the distance isn't going to be a problem. Very efficient with his work, wastes very little energy, and then backs his man up to his own corner and scores with a strong right cross to the sternum. There's a roundhouse right to the left ribcage from Salcedo. Left hand snuck underneath to the body from Salcedo. First round in the book. Very good round of boxing indeed. Abdullayev mainly over that front foot, looking to keep Salcedo on the perimeter of the boxing ring. Here's the CEO, the Chris Roberts OBE, in attendance here at the National Gymnastics Arena tonight. So into the second round then. Salcedo just momentarily dropping that left hand back down to his kneecap, looking to bring up that jab from an angle that is difficult to detect from Abdullayev. But Abdullayev pursuing his man and landing a oh, that's a low blow, doubled over Salcedo, then tucked up to repel the incoming fire in the form of hooks to his head. But always the challenge when operating behind a low-held guard, relying on reflex and being out of range. But in the event that neither of those two things come to pass, well then, the strength of your chin and punch resistance is going to be tested. 2-shot salvo to the body were straight shots from Salcedo. Abdullayev continuing to bob and weave on the edge of range. Leaping left hook is a shot where the attempted defense with the right glove came just a little bit too late. Right cross is attempted by both men. Approaching the halfway stage of this second round. Three-shot combination from Salcedo, so the final left hook attempted to the body. Oh, that's a cracking right hand. Came behind a left jab, but my goodness, Abdullayev took it well, barely blinked, and continued his advance. But it was landed solidly by Salcedo. See, he's the slightly taller of these two super heavyweights. Nice movement on the ropes from Salcedo to cause Abdullayev to miss. Double jab from Abdullayev, followed by a right cross, which just clipped the chin of Salcedo. Salcedo loading up on that backhand, didn't quite find the mark. Double jab, head then body from Abdullayev. Again, his expression never changes. He's able to employ the layback with some good footwork to cause Salcedo to fall short, and a single phase attack was off the mark. So right cross attempted by Salcedo ends up going long over the shoulder of Abdullayev. Was ringside in Tegucigalpa in Honduras when Salcedo won America's Continental Silver, losing to Jose Angel Larde of Cuba in the final. That qualified him for the 2017 World Championships, where he came that quarter-finalist. And again, after he wasn't too far away with that right hand, Abdullayev goading his man, instructing him to bring it to me. And on the sound of the bell, it's Abdullayev pursuing.
Третий раунд, round 3.
So a sporting touch of gloves to begin the third round.
Do'stlar, jonli efirdan uzoqlashmaymiz. Mana shu jangdan so'ng hamyurtimiz IBA Pro jahon chempionlik kamari uchun jang qiladi akalar. 57 kilogramm vazn toifasida rossiyalik Vsevolod Shumkovga qarshi. Akalar, hamyurtimiz Mirazbek Mirzahalilovni qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz. Aktivni ko'tarishda yordam berasizlar degan umiddaman. Bittadan laykni tirsilatib qo'ysalaring juda xursand bo'lardim akalar. Kattakon rahmat hammaga.
But he's doing a good job repelling these attempted pot shots from Salcedo, is Abdullayev. Backing his man up to near the ropes, but then Salcedo showing good lateral movement. He's the man taking the longer route around the boxing ring. Gets back to the space of ring center now, but he's spent an awful lot of this first minute of the third round on the perimeter. There's another right cross, which crashes home in pile-driving fashion from Salcedo. Again, perhaps had something taking off it because Abdullayev was hip to it coming in and just began to reverse, but not before. The shot found a home on his chin. There he looks for another sharp shooting straight right, Salcedo, but it goes over the shoulder of Abdullayev. So Salcedo doing a good job using the space of the boxing ring, and Abdullayev is continuing to press, but hasn't really let his hands go with any consistent success. There he lands with a slapping left hand to the body, which was a scoring blow. Salcedo looks to come back with a left right to the body of his own. Abdullayev turning southpaw now, and that's a beautiful lead right hook out of that port-sided stance. It got Salcedo's attention. Salcedo looking to blast his way out of the corner with work to the body. Two men fall into a clinch before disengaging of their own accord. Abdullayev continuing with the southpaw, and there's a hard left hand driven in just above the belt line of Salcedo. Salcedo digs in with a right cross upstairs of his own, and now more good work to the body out of that southpaw stance from Abdullayev, who's turned lefty and is having real success out of the southpaw stance here, deep into this third round. Left cross not too far away from Abdullayev, who's continuing to persist as a left-handed boxer, leading with the right leg and right hand. Reaching for the left cross, which just grazed the chin of Salcedo. Salcedo, right hand, a good antidote to the southpaw stance, but he couldn't find a range with that attempted backhand. Salcedo's right hand was short, but wasn't made to pay on the attempted counter from Abdullayev. Terrific round of boxing, where Abdullayev switched to the southpaw stance and enjoyed a consistent period of success in the final portion of the round. Ravjan Kodjayev keeping his man cool as Abdullayev elects to remain on his feet in between rounds. But here was the success out of the southpaw stance by Abdullayev, pressing his man and able to find the range to both head and body. Terrific left hand, sneaking through the defenses of Salcedo. Turning down effective offense to the body.
Четвертый раунд. Раунд 4.
So we move into the fourth round after enjoying sustained success in the closing portions of the third as a southpaw. Abdullayev emerged as an orthodox boxer, but has now switched to the southpaw stance once again. So Salcedo trying to establish his own lead left, pawing with it, reaching with it. Attempted a right cross to the body, but was off the mark. Nice defense with the glove from Abdullayev. And then a sneaky jab over the top of the lead right, landed by Salcedo. Salcedo just coming square on the ropes, shots to the body, uppercut through the middle. Terrific portion of the round from Abdullayev, who then backed up to avoid the attempted get back that Salcedo was looking for. And Salcedo just skitting across the ropes, but not before being clipped with a slapping left cross out of the southpaw stance. Oh, that's a hard right hand attempted into the body, straying into kidney punch territory with a final left. That was acknowledged by Salcedo with a touch of gloves, as if to say, my bad, not intentional. Remember, it has to, the target is the front of the head and the body. Shots to the rear are illegal. Roundhouse right was rather telegraphed and easily evaded by Abdullayev. He's persisting to good effect out of that southpaw stance. Shaking out his hands as he was pressing forwards. Hard right hand attempted to the body by Salcedo. Nice defense with the right glove from Salcedo to ward off the incoming left as Abdullayev back as an orthodox boxer once again. Salcedo moving with wonderful fluidity laterally. Good burst of punches to the body, ending with a left hook. Before that, with a strong right cross into the left flank of Abdullayev. Abdullayev just pursuing his man to the neutral corner. Well, as you'd expect from boxers of these credentials in the three-round form of IBA boxing, both of these men know their way around the boxing ring. I'm just wondering whether Salcedo is active enough, considering the pressure he's being put under. And Abdullayev turned from southpaw back to orthodox now. Big left right attempted by Salcedo. There he does get through with a stab jab to the body. Scoring shot from the Colombian boxer in black trimmed with gold. Another jab to the chest from Salcedo. Wonderfully fluid movement once again. Laterally both left and right, clockwise and counterclockwise from Salcedo, who attempted a sneaky right hand lead on the sound of the bell, but it went over the shoulder of Abdullayev.
Выгодные программы лояльности, высокие коэффициенты и качественный сервис, а также отличается своими высокими стандартами безопасности и надежности. БК Милбет дважды признана самым надежным букмекером по версии премии рейтинг букмекеров 2022 и 2024 и является титульным партнером.
Effective defenses to ward off the body shots, but the uppercut went right through the middle. Wonderful recognition from Abdullayev. So round number 5. It's two mobile, skillful heavyweight, super heavyweights in our third super heavyweight encounter here on Champions Night action. in Baku. Good right hand landed to the body. Abdullayev saying that again, it's straight around the rear to make it a kidney punch. But again, phlegmatic expression remaining etched on the face of the two-time current World Championship bronze medalist. So Abdullayev switching stances while pursuing his man. Salcedo continuing to work around the perimeter of the boxing ring, but off the mark with his left right. Abdullayev looked to answer with shots down to the body. So Salcedo tying his man up, referee allowing the two men to work away on the inside. Lead left hook not too far away from Abdullayev. And again, remember, Salcedo, a veteran of World Series boxing, so nothing new for him to be boxing in a distance longer than the 3 3-minute rounds of IBA Olympic-style boxing. It's been a long time since he contested World Series boxing, and I just wonder, well, concerned perhaps too strong a word, but I think he's got to get busier here, because for my money he's being outpointed and outboxed in his contest so far, simply because comparatively he hasn't been as active, trying single pot shots while pivoting off the back foot, but not really finding the range with them. And as a result, the front foot pressure and perhaps greater activity from Abdullayev, for my money, has him in the lead in this contest with a minute remaining in this 5th round. But of course, in the super heavyweight division, one single shot can change the course of a contest more than in any other weight class. Salcedo, let me tell you, he packed a punch. Good burst of punches to the body from Abdullayev. The first one may have strayed into kidney punch territory. Salcedo intimating to the referee that the shot was low. And Abdullayev saying, well, hold on a minute, man. You've caught me around the rear to the body on a few occasions. So all fair during battle. Left right to the body from Salcedo. Right jab upstairs in response from Abdullayev. There's a hard right hand slung into the body beneath the left elbow of Abdullayev from Salcedo. Closing seconds of this penultimate round. Right hand to the body on the cross, not too far away from Salcedo. Slapping right hand landed in response.
Out. Шестой раунд, round 6.
So into the 6th and final round then. Abdullayev with the left hand to the body, that wasn't too far away. For what it's worth, I happen to have Abdullayev leading in this contest. Salcedo has been in every round. I suppose the biggest question is, has he been active enough, accurate enough in each of the preceding 5 rounds to have himself in front of the scorecards of the 3 judges? Right hand to the ribcage was a scoring shot from Abdullayev. Left jab cracked out by Salcedo, wasn't too far away. He continues to operate behind a low-held lead left hand, looking to turn that left jab into a whiplash. Right cross was a scoring shot from Salcedo, but Abdullayev continuing to walk his man down, and now he's got him pinned in his own corner. Has success with bent-arm work in between the defenses of Salcedo. Salcedo momentarily claimed his man, walked him back to the space of center ring. Good right hand to the body. Left uppercut underneath from Abdullayev. And then a layback from Abdullayev. Salcedo will be more aware than anyone that that was a good portion of the round in terms of scoring shots from Abdullayev. So surely he's got to do something in response. His conditioning appears to be solid as he lands a left hand right cross, and again that's a solid shot from Salcedo, but Abdullayev showing no response to his punch successes upstairs whatsoever. Good work to the body from Salcedo. But again, when you're a back foot boxer, as Salcedo is, wonderful punch pickup. Remember, he's around 6 feet 6 inches tall, is Salcedo, 1.98 meters, but wonderfully fluid with his boxing. Occasionally, as a back foot merchant, have to hold your feet and back up the other man just to show the judges that you're not trying to nick it. And of course, that can be a huge regional thing as well. Certain parts of the world prefer that front foot pressure. Other parts prefer the back foot punch picking. Terrific two-shot salvo, right cross, left hand to the body, dug in by Salcedo. But continuing to advance and seeking to walk his man down once more is Abdullayev. Salcedo bobbing and weaving on the ropes, takes 2 shots beneath the elbows, left, right, then left from Abdullayev. Sharp left jab, snapped out by Salcedo, closing 30 seconds of this final round. And again, I happen to think that Salcedo needs a massive final round here. He's been in every round, but I'm not. Beautiful left hand followed by a right cross. Salcedo with a little bit of showboating as if to try to get into the mind of Abdullayev to say, you didn't hurt me. And again, he's remonstrating with Abdullayev. He's going to make it through to the final bell, but I'm not sure he's been industrious enough during the course of this contest to be declared as the victor. That's how I see it, but this one is going to be determined by the verdicts of the 3 scoring judges. Well, excuse me, as we said on the graphic, it's actually a heavyweight contest for 8 3-minute rounds, not the 6 3-minute rounds that Muhammad Rasul, Majidov and Amanjolov was. So still time for Salcedo to turn this one around, but with 6 rounds completed, I have got Abdullayev in a strong position on the scorecard.
Round 7.
Good jab to the body from Salcedo. Landing around the chest and the shoulder, and a sharp right cross from Salcedo, but a leaping left hand out of the southpaw stance from Abdullayev. And Abdullayev has nary taken a backward step during the course of this contest. He's invariably operating out of the space of center ring, and now Salcedo is getting busy here in the 7th round. Keeping the movement going in very impressive fashion is Salcedo, as he intimates that he was tagged by a rabbit punch to the rear of his head. So Abdullayev breathing, just becoming increasingly audible here from ringside at the National Gymnastics Arena in Baku. It's brand new territory for both of the boxers, remember. World Series boxing that Salcedo is a veteran of, contested over 5 rounds, so as soon as he entered the 6th, he was into uncharted territory. And as for Abdullayev, well, no WSB experience in his considerable portfolio, but holding up well over the longer duration of this IBA Champions Night event. And again, when he comes square on the ropes, even though he's tucking up behind gloves and forearms, Abdullayev is such a patient punch picker that he's been able to find holes in the defenses of Salcedo and land some point scoring punches. The Salcedo feinting, scores with a good jab to the body, countered by Abdullayev. Abdullayev turning at the waist to slip that shot that was fired in from the backhand of Salcedo. So Salcedo continuing to moved beautifully, both left and right, but he finds himself near the ropes once again. Takes a rather crude-looking right hand from Abdullayev before turning the tables and spinning out to the space of center ring while wrapping his man up, Salcedo. Attempted left-right was off the mark. Takes a right hand to the body after he was inconvenienced with that inaccurate work, and comes back with a right cross of his own. But again, it's Abdullayev who's on the front foot, backing up the man from Colombia. No shot on the break. Cheeky right hook landed out of the southpaw stance from Abdullayev, and then working the body beautifully once again. Gets through the defenses with a pile-driving left cross, with Salcedo spending an increasing amount of the closing stages of this 7th round near the ropes and the corner. He's not running, trying to give his man angles as he shakes out his left hand. I hope he hasn't sustained an injury to that lead left, because he's continuing to shake it as he makes his way back to the corner. Nice right hand off the back foot landed by Salcedo, but Abdullayev keeping the attack going and having right hand success of his own to have the final word in that trade-off. Again, there's an example of the patient punch picking. Abdullayev pulling the initial punch he was going to throw, waiting to see what opening presented itself, and got through with 2 hooks to the body, followed by a right uppercut and left hand through the middle.
Seconds out. Финальный 8-й раунд.
So into the 8th round, as Abdullayev emerging as an orthodox boxer, left hook not too far away, the left hand fired in from Salcedo was warded off by the right glove of Abdullayev, which he got up to his temple to block it effectively. Salcedo continuing to lance his man with that long lead left, firing in an overhand right. And again, Salcedo is dialing up the intensity and increasing his punch output here. Active with that lead left hand that he was shaking out as he made his way back to the black corner at the end of round number 7. Abdullayev simply not giving him any room to breathe, Salcedo. And even when Abdullayev isn't punching, the fact that he's in his wheelhouse as a low blow tickles Salcedo on the belt line once again. Salcedo just saying to him, keep him up. We both know the rules of this game. But even when Abdullayev isn't punching, the presence right in range and almost on the chest of Salcedo, that's an awful lot of mental energy that has to be expended by Salcedo just to think and function in the face of this man's incessant front foot pressure. Beautiful straight punching from Abdullayev directly above our commentary position here at the National Gymnastics Arena in Baku. And again, even though barricades were erected by Salcedo, some of the punches did get through. Beyond the halfway stage of the final round, there's a beautiful right cross from Salcedo, and then a right hand to the body as Salcedo's exertions increasingly audible now, exhaling with each shot as he drives it in, pushing his toes into the canvas. But Abdullayev is demonstrating terrific composure in the face of these salvos that Salcedo is looking to launch. Good right hand driven into the body once again. The palm was turned down to the ring canvas from Salcedo, and now it's untidy on the inside. Abdullayev looking to find room for his own punches. Salcedo looking to dig down to the body. Salcedo looking to draw that lead that he can counter by getting over that back foot. There he landed with a reverse 1-2, right then left to the body, tried the right hand over the top, but it was inconvenienced by the defenses of Abdullayev. And Abdullayev on the front foot once again. Salcedo firing and missing with the right cross, and he's going to Again, fantastic to see that show of respect and sportsmanship between the two men. Here is Alexander Sadakov with the official announcement.
Узнаем имя победителя. Ваши аплодисменты обоим участникам этого яркого боя. Победу в котором раздельным решением судей. And your winner by split decision from the gold corner, Mohammed Abdullayev.
So Mohammed Abdullayev declared a split decision victor over Christian Salcedo of Colombia. A contest of terrific skill and fluidity between two of the best three-round IBA boxers in the world in the super heavyweight division. The tempo at which it was fought was notable indeed, but it's Mohammed Abdullayev who has been declared the victor at the conclusion of a very good contest indeed. Some of the action from the bout. Abdullayev invariably on the front foot. Salcedo demonstrating fantastic smoothness and sharp shooting ability on the back foot. But it was the industry and front foot pressure of Abdullayev that saw him take it on the scorecards of two of the three judges for a split decision.
Yangi kelgan do'stlar, akalar, ukalarga bir bora eslatib o'taman, akalar. Ozarbayjonning Baku shahrida IBF chempionlar oqshomi bo'lib o'tyapti, akalar. Hamyurtimiz Mirazbek Mirzahalilov rossiyalik bokschi Vsevolod Shumkovga qarshi ringga ko'tariladi 57 kg vazn toifasida. Jang IBA Pro jahon chempionlik kamari uchun bo'lib o'tadi, akalar. Hamyurtimizni qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz. Hozir esa hamyurtimiz ringga ko'tariladi.
Дамы и господа, нас ожидает главное событие вечера. 10-раундовый поединок за титул чемпиона мира IBA в весовой категории 57 килограммов. And now it's time for the main event of the evening. 10 rounds for the IBA World Champion title in 57 kilograms weight category. And now, making his way to the ring from Uzbekistan, Mirazizbek Mirzakhalilov.
So shadowboxing at the rear of the National Gymnastics Arena in Baku, Azerbaijan is Mirazizbek Mirzakhalilov. One of the best three-round IBA boxers in the world, the 29-year-old from Uzbekistan. And he brings a perfect professional record to the boxing ring. 4 fights, 4 wins, 3 of them inside the distance. And again, no stranger to IBA Champions Night boxing. Mirzakhalilov taking his chance in Dushanbe in February when he defeated Luis Rodriguez from Mexico. And that is why he finds himself here challenging for the IBA world title at 57 kilograms over 10 rounds. The 2019 World Championship gold medalist into the black corner, awaiting the arrival of his opponent.
Please welcome to the gold corner, from St. Petersburg, Russia, Vsevolod Shumkov.
The reigning European Championship gold medalist from the edition in Belgrade in
Akalar, va nihoyat hamyurtimiz ringga ko'tarildi. Xudo xolasa bugun bu kamar O'zbekistonga keladi. O'ylaymanki hamyurtimizni qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz akalar. Aktivni ko'tarishga yordam berasizlar. Sizlar uchun arzimagan ish, biz uchun katta yutuq bo'ladi agar bittadan like bosib qo'ysalaring. Hammaga kattakon rahmat. Agar kim qo'llab-quvvatlayotgan bo'lsa, illiq niyat kommentariyalar uchun ham kattakon rahmat. Har doim sog' salomat bo'linglar.
To the main event of the evening. 10 rounds for the IBA World Champion title in 57 kilograms weight category. And now, sounds for the first time ever, please rise for the official IBA anthem. Дамы и господа, прошу приветствуйте звучащий впервые официальный гимн Международной боксерской ассоциации. Просьба всех встать.
Спасибо. Thank you.
Дамы и господа, а сейчас звучат гимны для боксеров. И первым звучит гимн, национальный гимн Республики Узбекистан. And now, national anthem of Republic of Uzbekistan. Дамы и господа, звучит государственный гимн Российской Федерации. Now the national anthem of the Russian Federation. Итак, дамы и господа, это главное событие вечера. Нас ожидают 10 раундов за титул чемпиона мира IBA в весовой категории 57 килограммов. Представляю участников боя и первый боксера слева от меня в черном углу ринга. Ему 29 лет, рост 169 сантиметров, вес 57 килограммов ровно. Он чемпион Азии, чемпион мира, участник Олимпийских игр. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. He weighed in at 57 kilograms. He's representing Fergana, Uzbekistan. Asian amateur champion of the world, Mirazizbek Mirzakhalilov. Его сопернику в золотом углу ринга 22 года. Рост 170 сантиметров, вес также 57 килограммов ровно. Он трехкратный чемпион России, чемпион Европы, бронзовый призер чемпионата мира. In the gold corner, he stands 170 centimeters tall. He's also weighed in at 57 kilograms. Three-time Russian national champion, European champion, amateur world bronze medalist from St. Petersburg, Russia, Всеволод Shumkov. Рефери поединка Анар Бабанли, Азербайджан.
Listen my command, head up, no holding, no low blow. Shake hand, blow up.
So there is a quick look at the tail of the tape. Slight height advantage enjoyed by Всеволод Shumkov. Will he be able to withstand the heavy punching of Mirazizbek Mirzakhalilov? Will Mirzakhalilov be able to withstand the sharp shooting combination punches of Shumkov? An intriguing contest in store, scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds for the IBA 57 kilogram world title. We're underway. 10 3-minute rounds in this battle between two of the very best IBA boxers in the world. The man operating out of the orthodox stance, wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold, is Mirazizbek Mirzakhalilov, 29 years of age, from Kuva in Uzbekistan. 2019 World Championship gold medalist is Mirzakhalilov. Asian Games gold medalist from the edition in Jakarta. Continental champion as well. As the man wearing the white trunks trimmed with gold, he too comes to the ring as the reigning continental champion, having taken European title success. He gets through with a corkscrew left hand. Took that European title in Belgrade earlier this year. World Championship bronze medalist in Uzbekistan last summer at the Humo Arena. And these two have had plenty to say in the lead up to this contest. Oh, that's a cracking right uppercut left hook from Shumkov, who has found his range immediately and is razor sharp in the first half of this opening round. Mirzakhalilov coming forwards behind high-held gloves, but the volume and the accuracy from Shumkov is seeing those defenses penetrated, and you can see that there's a reddening just on the bridge of Mirzakhalilov nose already. He scored with a single right cross over the top. He comes back with a jab, but in between those two shot successes, combination successes for Shumkov. Remember, this contest scheduled for 10 rounds, so plenty of twists and turns one suspects yet. And it is always the case when dealing with a blisteringly quick sharpshooter like Shumkov. Speed is a quality that often dissipates. Will he be able to maintain this type of sharpness, this type of intensity for the duration of the contest, if indeed it goes that long? In the meantime, in the early stages, can Mirazizbek Mirzakhalilov deal with this rapid fire combination punching that is being demonstrated, such as in that little cameo there from Shumkov? Beautiful lead left hook around the rear of the right glove, followed by a two-shot combination and another left uppercut through the middle from Shumkov. Effective defenses on that to repel that combination from Shumkov, erected by Mirzakhalilov, who's continuing to pursue his man. Beautiful three-shot combination once again, then dropping down to the body from Shumkov. Seeking to remain defensively responsible is Mirzizbek Mirzakhalilov, but look at how his defenses were penetrated on that forward foray from Shumkov. There was good movement in the pocket from Mirzakhalilov, and a sporting touch of gloves to conclude the round. So a very good round of boxing in this open-up scheduled for 10. I happen to think that Shumkov did enough to take that first round. Remember, we will have 3 scoring judges using the 10-point must system in the event that we go to the scorecard. If there's a clash of heads which causes the bout to be stopped and it occurs before 2 rounds have been completed, then the bout will be declared a no contest. And again, that's something that was explained to me by the IBA technical delegate, Mark Williams. Rules not yet set in stone, they're still being tweaked and fine-tuned, but as things stand, it's before 2 rounds, the completion of 2 rounds, when it will be a no contest. Thereafter, it will go to the scorecard. So into the second round we go. Vsevolod Shumkov starting this one very quickly indeed, finding his range practically from the opening bell. Mirzakhalilov not discouraged. The 2 men looking for left hooks. Mirzakhalilov remaining concentrated. Beautiful counter left hand, but then a left jab from Shumkov, but then a left jab came back from Mirzakhalilov. Shumkov looking for left-right combination success. Beautiful left hook sunk into the body. Left uppercut attempted by Shumkov, but couldn't quite find the mark. Mirzakhalilov quickening his feet now and seeking to pin Shumkov near the ropes. He was hip to that and got back to the space of center ring, as both men continuing to demonstrate wonderful movement in the pocket. Flashy left uppercut attempted was a lead shot by Shumkov as he's continuing to snake out a left jab. Both men incredibly sharp and bustling away to the body, perfectly entitled to do so, was Mirzizbek Mirzakhalilov. Wonderful recognition, getting Shumkov to hold his feet by pinning him in the black corner as he comes back with a roundhouse right. And Shumkov, well, just touched up downstairs there. Oh, that's a beautiful right hand over the top from Mirzakhalilov, and it bent Shumkov sideways, but he's keeping his wits about him, continues to remain sharp in his movements as he comes back with a roundhouse right of his own. But Mirzizbek Mirzakhalilov, as we suggested that he needs to, dealt with the sharp shooting successes in the first round, and he's coming into this contest more in the second, landing an eye-catching overhand right, which bent Vsevolod Shumkov to the side.
Akalar, ikkinchi raund 1 daqiqadan kam vaqt qoldi. Hamyurtimiz juda ajoyib jang o'tkazyapti. Bu ketishda nokaut ham tutishimiz mumkin. Akalar, hamyurtimizni qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz. Videomiz boshqa hamyurtlarimizga yetib borish uchun bittadan like bosib qo'ysa degan umiddaman. Sizlar uchun arzimaganish biz uchun katta yutuq bo'ladi. Bizni 300 dan ziyod odam tomosha qilyapti. 190 ta bo'lib like'imiz uchun 200 tadan oshirib qo'ysak juda chiroyli bo'lardi.
Not getting greedy after his success on the ropes is Shumkov, moving off, keeping an eye on that right eye, which is reddening by the second. And then a right hand over the top again from Mirzizbek Mirzakhalilov. Beautiful left hook to the body during the course of that exchange from Mirzakhalilov. And the men trading misses just before the sound of the 10-second clapper. This one heating up in the second round. Mirzizbek Mirzakhalilov with a terrific response in round number 2, having his own successes. And again, there's another from Shumkov, but then how about that for a right hand over the top? Shumkov attempting a layback, but was caught on the way out, bending him over as he was near the ropes.
Time. Whoop.
So we move into round number 3. The IBA World Championship title at 57 kilograms on the line. And again, the IQ being demonstrated by both of these boxers off the charts. Shumkov, oh, beautiful boxing off the back foot with his back near the ropes from Shumkov. Seemingly pinned near the neutral corner, but managed to find a way out, and anything but running. Serving up a sharpshooting combination, and then thereafter just rendering Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov inaccurate, but then a hard right hand followed by a left hook from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, catching Shumkov as he came square on the ropes. And this contest continuing to take on a terrific two-way nature. Overhand right was reached for by Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, but it was inaccurate, as was the follow-up backhand. Skitting effectively clockwise to his left is Shumkov, but Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov continuing to demonstrate quick feet in his pursuit of the man from Russia. Bobbing and weaving in the pocket before uncoiling with a left hook. Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov nicely put the knees from Shumkov to cause the jab to go over his head. Nice pullback demonstrated by Mirzakhililov, but he couldn't evade the follow-up single which came in his direction. Here's a slapping left hand landed by Shumkov as he skips off the ropes, skips off the ropes clockwise once again. Right uppercut and a hook landed by Shumkov, who now changes direction counterclockwise. Terrific movement being demonstrated, and every inch of the ring being used by Vsevolod Shumkov. Exchange of jabs, we saw both men have their heads pushed back. Double jab, right hand over the top from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. Shumkov just feeling his back touch the ropes, and he catapults off them once again. Hard right hand slung into the body by Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, countered by a left hook downstairs from Shumkov. Beautiful left jab off the back foot, approaching the black corner from Shumkov. Check left hand was an effective shot as Shumkov was able to spin off the line. Sharper left jab during that exchange, evidenced by the man in the white trimmed with gold. But Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov continuing to pursue his man. Beautiful left jab without reply, and another jab during the course of that coming together from Shumkov. He rendered the work of Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov inaccurate twice, and again razor sharp reflexes being demonstrated by Shumkov. I'm not quite sure whether that was showboating, sticking his tongue out, or he was just playing with his gum shield with his tongue. And again holding up the hand to feel that, to demonstrate that he feels he's got that second round in the book. What a round of sticking and moving produced by Vsevolod Shumkov during the course of that third frame. Some of the action from round number 3. Uppercut while sliding across the ropes produced by Vsevolod Shumkov.
Hamyurtimiz ham afsuski udarlab o'tkazib yuboryapti. Ozgincha aniqlik yetishmayapti. Udarlar ketma-ketligi ancha yaxshi, lekin aniqlik qo'shilsa, bundan yaxshi bo'lardi. Lekin gap yo'q. Faqat bosim o'tkazib, raqibini qochirib yuribdi.
Четвертый раунд. Round 4.
So we move into the fourth round of what has been a contest of incredible speed, skill and ring craft so far. Fantastic jolting jab off the back foot, followed by a corkscrew right hand from Shumkov, as Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov continuing to press. But he's finding Shumkov very difficult to catch cleanly. And again, making his man miss by millimeters, such as the head movement of Shumkov. Jolting left jab scored once more from Shumkov, but Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov reaching for that backhand during the course of his two-fisted assault. 29 years of age, Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, and he was saying in the build-up to this contest that he's been in boxing for 20 years. Flashing left hook, just glances the jaw, and then a left hand to the body. Both of them coming from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. The first left hook to the jaw, the second one to the body. Said that his whole family is in boxing. He said that his brother was his first coach, and he first entered boxing because he was a bit of a troublemaker by his own admission. Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov getting into street fights, looking for trouble, finding trouble. And his parents said, well, hold on, seeing as you like fighting so much, let's take you to a place where you can do it properly. Said at first, he just did it to protect his family, but now he's one of the very best in the world and continuing to showcase his skills here on Champions Night, on the Champions Night stage in Baku, Azerbaijan. Left-right combination again from Shumkov, who is again not running, but giving his man angles during this demonstration of what is predominantly back foot boxing, but then occasionally he'll hold his feet, uncoil a combination before picking up the back foot skill set once again. But it's Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov scores with a jab on an upward trajectory from his belt line, and another jab, reaching for a treble jab, and a right hand just seemingly dipped the knees of Shumkov. He intelligently spins off the ropes and gets back to center ring, comes back with a left-right combination of his own, followed by a right hand, and again, nodding in the direction of his man as he scores with another two-shot combination in between the gloves. Roundhouse right to the body from Shumkov. And this is terrific two-way action in the center of the boxing ring with half a minute remaining here in the fourth round. Shumkov continuing to land with pot shot successes as Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov invariably seeking to get on the front foot, as just trying to pry his man's defenses open was Shumkov. He then disengaged, went walkabout. Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov didn't pursue him, as if to say, come on, I'm right here in center ring, meet me, as the two men exchange jabs twice in quick succession. Switching southpaw now is Shumkov. Now he's back in the orthodox stance and lands with a left hand to conclude round number 4. Another action-packed stanza of non-stop punching and incredibly high skill between these two operators. Fantastic right uppercut off the ropes landed by Shumkov, and then able to slide away to his left. Glancing left hand during the course of that attempted trade-off. Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov always looking to uncoil his own offense, but the two men trading misses during that attempted coming together.
Пятый раунд, round 5.
So into the fifth round, and it's Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov out onto the front foot, success behind his jab, and then followed it up with a right cross. And again, using that lead left hand effectively in the first 15 seconds of round number 5 is Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. And again, the pace and tempo that these men are setting is notable indeed. Busier jab from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov once again. Shumkov coming back with bent arm successes during that coming together. Shumkov notably holding his feet a little more in this fifth round compared to the previous rounds, and as I say that, he just increases the gap once again and uses the space of the ring, operating on the perimeter, circumnavigating the rope square, both clockwise and now counterclockwise. But he began the round by holding his feet and meeting Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov in center ring. Mirzakhililov reaching for an overhand right, and then scores with a snappy, sharp jab. Does the man from Uzbekistan wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold. Right hand came on a downward trajectory from Shumkov. Oh, terrific three-shot combination, ended by a corkscrew left and then right hand over the top, but then a right hand off the back foot from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, then 2 left hooks dug into the body while Shumkov was trying to disengage. Was he hurt by that single shot success upstairs? Because Shumkov was looking to get away from the incoming fire. That left hand was low, but Shumkov, again, up on his toes, trying to maintain a gap between himself and his opponent, looking in the direction of the referee, Mr. Anor Babanli of Azerbaijan, and these perhaps appear to be difficult moments being endured by Shumkov because he was hit hard upstairs and then tested to the body by Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov around the midway stage of this 5th round. Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov not being distracted by the mugging and the gesturing from Shumkov, but Shumkov, again, I think he's been hurt and hasn't yet recovered because he's continuing to disengage and not let his hands go with the same regularity as he was earlier in the contest. Left hook to the body, right uppercut through the middle from Shumkov, but continuing to pursue him with his grim advance is Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. And now, Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov just looking to invest in body shots in a bid to get Shumkov to hold his feet once again. Digs another right hand just above the belt line and a left. Shumkov disengages, remaining sharp. There's a good left hand beneath the right elbow of Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov from Shumkov. Nice sharp shooting with straight punches from Shumkov, but countered by a body shot. And there's another leaping left hook. Terrific round produced by Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. And this one incredibly tight after 5 completed rounds. We're at the halfway stage, and it's a nip and tuck affair in this battle for the IBA 57 kilogram championship of the world. Some of the action from round number 5. Right hand successes from Shumkov, and that right jab actually coming when his feet were momentarily in a southpaw stance. But Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov set about him, hurt him with a hard single upstairs, and then had success to the body. And for the final half of the round, it was Shumkov seemingly seeking to disengage and remain out of harm's way.
Секунданты за ринг. 6-й раунд. Round 6.
So we move into the second half of this IBA World Championship bout. 5 rounds completed, a potential 5 rounds to go. And the pattern that was established in the early stages of Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov on the front foot, stalking his man, whereas Vsevolod Shumkov using the space of the ring and looking to pot shot and sharp shoot his way to eye-catching successes. Right hand before changing direction from clockwise to counterclockwise, landed by Shumkov, but Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov comes back with a right cross through the middle. Beautiful right hand landed during the course of that exchange by Shumkov, but it was countered immediately by Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. Nice movement in the pocket by the man in black from Uzbekistan. Exchange of jab before Shumkov's straight punches were off the mark. And it's another pulverizing left hand shot out by Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. Right hand, left hook, and he just caught Shumkov as he was looking to dip at the knees. And that exacerbated the effect of the punch. Good double right hand. Head then body from Shumkov. What a right uppercut, left hook, followed by a right hook before disengaging clockwise to his left. Beautiful portion of the round from Shumkov. But Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov always seeking to press the action and remain on the chest of Shumkov. Beautiful left hook sunk into the body, but referee Mr. Anor Babanli saying that the punch strayed low, but he really got leverage on that shot, dipping to his left and sinking it in beneath the right elbow of Shumkov. And again, this one being fought at a pace that is scarcely believable deep into this 6th round. Big swing and a miss with the left uppercut, but he did score with the right hand, and there is a low left hand to the body from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. It was on the blind side of the referee, momentarily doubled over Shumkov, who is then caught by a left hook and another left hook as he bombs over the top with the right hand, the man from Russia. My goodness, this is terrific two-way action deep into round number 6, 40 seconds remaining. Left hook success to the body once again from Shumkov, and another one on the belt line, from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, and another one on the belt line of Shumkov. Trace of blood leaking from the nose of Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov here now. Looking to bob and weave his way away from trouble is Shumkov, and again, just trying to showboat and discourage his man, get inside his mind. But Mirzizbek Khalilov knew too long in the tooth to be distracted by such antics. Beautiful left hand. Heads come together on the inside. They clashed forcefully, and that is why Shumkov just wiping his brow as he makes his way back to his black corner. My goodness, another pulsating round in a 3-minute stanza where high skill was in evidence. Shumkov trying to bob and weave his way out of trouble on the ropes, but caught by that first left jab. Mirzakhililov keeping the attack going.
Секунданты за ринг. 7-й раунд. Раунд 7.
Round 7 underway. Oh, that's a terrific left jab at center ring, landed by Shumkov. See that considerable blob of petroleum jelly on the left eyebrow of Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. Cut wasn't discernible beneath those dark eyebrows as he reaches and lands with a right roundhouse right to the body. The damage to the nose, leaking blood once again on the face of Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. Good left hook to the body from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov once more, turns it into a left hook upstairs. As Shumkov just being pushed back towards the ropes once again, but he's continuing to dodge and dart left and right, showing genius ankles and wonderful lateral movement. And then making his man miss before scoring with a counter left jab, Shumkov. And for all the skill and sharpness in evidence, oh, what a left hook landed by Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, and just looking to disengage and allow his head to clear is Vsevolod Shumkov. But Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, sensing his man's discomfort, and steps on the gas to pursue him once more from one side of the ring to the other. But Shumkov showing some punch resistance, some toughness, and some conditioning, because he's still in there, not only pitching and competing, but he's having success with combinations off the back foot of his own. Good left hand to the body, then a left hook to the head from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. Sharp shooting jab once again from Mirzakhililov, who's quickening his feet and walking his man down relentlessly. Shumkov continuing to use every available inch of the squared circle of the boxing ring. But Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov will not stop pursuing him. Oh, right hand dips the knees of Shumkov. Shumkov practically sitting on the second from bottom rope. And ignoring the discomfort of that damaged nose is Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, continuing to press despite his face being turned into a crimson mask because of the blood from that nose injury that is being smeared over it. Sharp shooting left jab is a successful shot off the back foot from Shumkov. Right hand over the top, and then a right hook to the body. The right hand over the top came from Shumkov. The hook to the body came from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. And Shumkov has lost his footing once again after Mirzakhililov was teeing off. Left jab off the back foot from Shumkov. Low blow slung in with the left hand from Mirzakhililov. There's the 10-second clapper. Shumkov has been put under sustained pressure during the course of this round. There he is, still scoring with that rapid-fire left jab. My goodness, what a round of boxing in that 7th frame.
широкую линию ставок, выгодную программу лояльности, высокие коэффициенты и качественный сервис, а также отличается своими высокими стандартами безопасности и надежности. БК Милбет дважды признана самым надежным букмекером по версии премии «Рейтинг букмекеров 2022» и 2024 и является титульным партнером Милбет первой линии.
There was the left hook landed by Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. A solid shot that checked the chin of Shumkov. Thereafter, he was on the back foot for the majority of the round, but make no mistake, he was competing right up until the final bell.
Round 8.
So we move into the 8th round. Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov with a terrific run of momentum in recent rounds. His front foot pressure paying dividends. Shumkov in the contest, but there he scored upon to both body and head once again. Shumkov planting his feet in the canvas momentarily, having success upstairs and downstairs. But Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov simply will not leave him alone. There's another double left hook to the body, as Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov seeking to grind his man down deep into this contest. Single pot shot without reply from Shumkov, but again, he's spending an awful lot of time on the back foot. Back foot boxing, an art in itself, of course, but it can be construed on occasion that it's the man who is the aggressor, the pursuer, who is seeking to make the contest. And sometimes, don't think it's the case here, but the man who's on the back foot can be accused of trying to nick it rather than trying to take the contest, take the title. And Shumkov just got himself a little bit disorganized and literally legged it away from trouble, turning his back on his opponent, which is illegal, of course. But the familiar pattern continuing here in round number 8 at the halfway stage. It's Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov on the front foot, Shumkov on the back foot, but still making his man miss on occasion and then countering with straight shots to make him pay. Well, the forecast as Shumkov lands with a single shot, the forecast that he predicted, and indeed which Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov anticipated, is unfolding before our very eyes here on this magnificent Champions Night stage at the Azerbaijan National Arena. But it's Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, who is showing no dissipation of his work rate. And to be fair, I posed that question earlier in commentary as a roundhouse right of the Czech variety lands from Shumkov. There's been no dissipation of his speed as the two men land jabs simultaneously. There's another left jab for the final word in that exchange of straight shots from Shumkov. Shumkov making his man miss. Good single right hand to the body. But he's clocking up an awful lot of mileage on his pugilistic odometer. The manner in which he's circumnavigating the boxing ring, both clockwise and counterclockwise. More hook success to the body from Mirzakhililov. Oh, goes for that left hook downstairs once again. Really is leaning over to his left, dipping at the knees and coming up with terrific leverage on that shot. Right hand to the body attempted by Shumkov. Tried the left hook upstairs, but both shots were repelled by arms and elbows of Mirzakhililov, who then uncoiled the left hook of his own with Shumkov near his own corner. Another terrific round of boxing with Mirzakhililov the aggressor, Shumkov seeking to play matador, but not making his man miss as often as he would like. Another fantastic round of boxing deep into this contest for the IBA Championship of the World at 57 kilograms.
Seconds out. Девятый раунд. Round 9.
So 6 minutes scheduled to remain in this contest for the IBA Championship of the World at 57 kilograms. And Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov, despite a damaged nose and a left eyebrow that may have a cut hidden beneath it as well, he is continuing to go after his man. Whereas Shumkov, despite being hurt by single shots upstairs and some effective sustained body attacks, is retaining his razor-like sharpness. But again, it is Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. Whereas in the early part of the contest, the sharp-shooting back foot successes were often without reply from Shumkov. Now increasingly, they are trade-offs. And occasionally, it is Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov who is able to pin Shumkov on the ropes and land effective eye-catching combinations. Jab attempted off the back foot from Shumkov. The cluster of punches which followed were inaccurate. And the accuracy from both men in this 9th round, approaching the halfway stage, has just dropped a little bit. That perhaps not surprising, given the extent of their endeavors to this point in the contest for the IBA Championship of the World at 57 kgs. Good left hand turned underneath to the body from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. And the conditioning of these boxers is commendable indeed. Both men said that they prepared admirably. Beautiful pot shotting off the back foot from Shumkov, and then able to get the right glove up to the temple to repel the incoming left hook from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. But Mirzakhililov, again, looking to stay on the chest of Shumkov. Shumkov being backed up, but he's not running. He's attempting to give his man angles and occasionally hold his feet and fire out a fusillade of straight punches. Left hook not too far away off the back foot from Shumkov. Left-handed, driven into the body with the palm turned upwards from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. And the intensity that this contest is being fought at is positively visceral. Right hand followed by left hand success off the rope from Shumkov. The attempted follow-up was inaccurate, courtesy of good head movement from Mirzizbek Mirzakhililov. Now he's putting on the earmuffs, repelling the incoming hooks, being slung in by Shumkov. Both men defending effectively, and again the accuracy just dropping a little bit compared to what we have seen in the preceding 8 completed rounds, and both men landing head.
Заключительный 10-й раунд. The final round.
So both men were up off their stools early to answer the bell to begin round number 10. Each showing the man that despite the punishment that they have absorbed, that they are still up and ready for the fight. And it's a sharp start to the round of back foot boxing from Shumkov. Mirzizbek Khililov finding his head pushed back and then made to miss as he launched a single right hook, left hook to the head, did score with a right hand to the body. Leaping left hook is rendered inaccurate once again by Shumkov, who is maintaining a gap between himself and his advancing opponent. Good right hand to the body beneath the left elbow of Mirzakhililov from Shumkov. And Shumkov, the busier boxer in the first 50 seconds of this final round. It's an incredibly tight contest thus far, very little in it. And again, fundamental philosophical question regarding the sport of boxing. Do you prefer the front foot pressure of Mirza Khalilov or the back foot sharpshooting of Shumkov? It's an incredibly tight affair, and Shumkov acquitting himself well in this final round. But Mirzizbek Mirza Khalilov continuing to pursue, as looking to launch a right uppercut was Shumkov. Right hand to the body, then changing direction, landed with a left hook to the body, followed by another right hand downstairs. And at the halfway stage, it has been a very good first half of the round by Shumkov, who's continuing to pepper his man with straight punches upstairs, but continuing his pursuit, but running into a left hook right cross combination is Mirzizbek Mirza Khalilov. And again, the sharpness being demonstrated by both boxers as Shumkov again contemptuously sticks his tongue out in the direction of Mirzizbek Mirza Khalilov, but Mirzizbek Mirza Khalilov lands with a pile-driving right cross before a burst of shoe-shine punches to the body. And another left hook lands downstairs from Mirzizbek Mirza Khalilov. Beautiful three-shot combination, ending with a left hand from Shumkov. Both men letting their hands go as a rapid-fire left hook checks the chin of Mirzizbek Mirza Khalilov from Shumkov, and another one. Gunshot of a left hook cracks home from the man from Russia wearing the white trim with gold. Terrific sharpshooting in evidence from the reigning European champion. Good left hook to the body, followed by a right hand. Then a two-shot combination upstairs, followed by a left hook, and check right hand from Shumkov, who spins off the line. This is terrific work from Shumkov. Answers Mirza Khalilov with a left hook to the body. Closing 20 seconds of what has been an utterly absorbing, pulsating final round. Right hand over the top, and touching down is Shumkov, my goodness. And again, a contemptuous show of the tongue from Shumkov. But make no mistake, I think that right hand hastened his trip to the canvas. It was an absolute belting overhand right from Mirzizbek Mirza Khalilov. What a contest, my goodness. Non-stop punching from opening bell to last. Receiving a generous round of applause from the CEO and Secretary General of the IBA, Mr. Chris Roberts, OBE. And that was a contest between two men whose styles gelled beautifully to produce a bout of the highest skill and of incredible intensity that had to be seen to be believed. We are going to the judges' scorecards, and which way is this one going to go? Our scoring judges are Mr. Valery Pastuhov of Moldova. We've got Veronika Zux of Hungary and Miss Maria Petkovic of Serbia. It is their verdicts that will determine the outcome of this contest, because we have gone through to the final bell. And there is very little between these two men. My goodness, the front foot pressure of this man, Mirzizbek Mirza Khalilov, the sharp shooting back foot successes of Vsevolod Shumkov. For what it's worth, I can't separate the two, but the important verdicts are those of the ringside judges. And which way is this one going to go? It could well be split. But irrespective of the outcome, it has been incredibly close and worthy of the mantle of the IBA world title that awaits the victor. Mr. Alexander Sadokov is in position. Here's the verdict.
Дамы и господа, прежде чем прозвучит имя нового чемпиона, давайте поблагодарим этих настоящих воинов за потрясающие 10 раундов, которые они подарили нам вдвоем. Дамы и господа, после 10 выдающихся раундов, единогласным решением судей победу одержал и стал чемпионом мира IBA. After 10 rounds, the winner by unanimous decision and IBA champion of the world from the gold corner.
And it is is Shumkov. Vsevolod Shumkov declared a unanimous decision victor at the conclusion of an absolutely pulsating
Akalar,
affair
afsuski
of
hamyurtimiz
non-stop high-skill
Mirazbek
action
Mirzahalilov
over 10
rossiyalik
3-minute rounds.
Vsevolod
And it
Shumkovga
means that Vsevolod Shumkov is the
ochkolar
new
hisobida mag'lub bo'ldi. Akalar, nima bo'lganda ham hamyurtimizni qo'llab-quvvatlaymiz. Keyingi janglarda omad tilab qolamiz. Jonli efirda bo'lganingiz uchun kattakon rahmat. Kim qo'llab-quvvatlab, like bosib, komment yozib turgan bo'lsa, ularga alohida rahmat. Keyingi jonli efirlarda o'tkazib yubormasligi uchun akalar obuna bo'lib, qo'ng'iroqcha tugmasini bosib qo'yinglar. Keyingi janglarda ko'rishguncha, xayr, salomat bo'lasizlar.
Unanimous points decision winner, but we should not take away from the outstanding contribution made to this pulsating bout by Mirazizbek Mirzahalilov, who played his part in what was an absolutely and utterly compelling contest. Non-stop action from opening bell to last. Shumkov, sharp shooting off the back foot. Mirazizbek Mirzahalilov, effective aggression over the front foot, taking it to his man. But in the last couple of rounds, the turnaround produced by Vsevolod Shumkov, perhaps crucial in him being declared the victor. For what it's worth, I had it deadlocked at 5 rounds apiece, courtesy of that late contest rally produced by Vsevolod Shumkov, because the front foot pressure of Mirazizbek Mirzahalilov in the middle rounds was notable and indeed unrelenting. But it's Vsevolod Shumkov who is the newly minted IBA champion of the world in the 57-kilogram division. What a contest and what a conclusion to this IBA Champions Night event here in beautiful Baku, Azerbaijan.
Дамы и господа, наш турнир IBA Champions Night подошел к концу. Мы благодарим всех и каждого, кто был сегодня с нами, и говорим вам, конечно же, не до свидания, а до очень-очень скорых встреч.